Hey y'all.
What's up?
What's going on?
How are y'all doing tonight on this Tuesday?
I know, right? It's a whole
Doing good,
different day.
doing fine.
I like
I
my
know.
hair.
I like it too.
It's the blonde.
It is.
Right.
I
I
had
also
to-
like your newer intro music too. I was watching your live today and I heard that it was like real calming and cute. I was like, okay, because like before it felt real summery and fun, and now it's just.
Did you change
I had
the
to switch it up. And then because I had to give instructions.
I like it.
Because I was like, I'm not reminding people to do things like subscribe to the other channels and how to become a member in the Patreon and all that stuff. So I was like, if I just throw this in there at the beginning with the waiting room music, then it may save me a headache sometimes if they're paying attention. So yay.
Yeah,
I changed mine too. I feel like it's like a new time. I changed my intro in my waiting room because this is like this is different.
Yes.
I'm all for the self commercials. Y'all would be so cute if we have our own commercials in the middle of these shows for next year.
We should.
We
should.
Okay, so Necey with the wine is back for tonight because I've been taking a break from my wine.
You took what, a whole month?
Clink, clink.
Okay,
just
October,
almost
November.
2. It was the
right?
whole month of October that I didn't drink alcohol. And then in November, I didn't drink alcohol as much because I felt like my birthday just took a toll. Y'all know I've been trying to do my little workout 4 days a week. But like I had been telling y'all backstage, the girl has had quite a week. So for that.
Okay, drink.
Period.
I'm real ghetto today. I got some water in a Faygo bottle because
that's funny. Not a Faygo, honey.
Well, because I got some 20-ounce Faygo. Because I got we got Faygo here, so it's pop, so it's like grape pop, and I drank it, but I forgot to move.
Y'all say pop in Detroit.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to keep the laughing.
Don't say soda,
girl. We say soda. I don't say
cold drink.
All my family, y'all do say cold. I have my family in Oklahoma. They say pop, and they play me for saying soda, but I didn't know that was a Detroit thing.
Yes, pop all day. If anyone says soda, we like, what the fuck is that? They know I'm soda. Give me a pop.
I mean, primarily, I know for myself, I call it by its name for the most part. Like, then I do like soda, but
everything pop.
Yeah.
Faygo pop, whatever.
Nice, I do is pop. They give me a cold drink. What kind of cold drink you want? Give me a Sprite.
Is Faygo like Shasta? Is Faygo Shasta? That's basically
I don't know what Shasta is. Faygo is like because y'all don't have Faygo is we
have check
prefer. Yeah, we have Faygo. So people come back to Detroit, they want some Faygo pop because it's like red, grape, orange. This is grape, and then they want some Better Made chips. That's we have that here. I don't think they have that in other states either. So it's like little stuff. It's like I'm gonna send all y'all some Faygo. So
I have Faygo.
You gotta send me strawberry. Yeah. You gotta send me strawberry because whatever it is, it needs to be strawberry for me.
The fruit, I think it's strawberry or fruit punch. That one and the pineapple will go hard. To me, I feel like Faygo ain't nothing but Kool-Aid with acid.
Yeah, it's real because I don't like.
It might taste like. Listen, somebody asking if it's like Big Shot, and I'm like, I don't think so, because like. I don't know. Do y'all have Big Shot? Because I know Big Shot is in other places now.
Is that in 7-Eleven?
I don't know. It's a New Orleans thing, but I know it's in other places now. But it's soda, and it be hitting, and it's what we would usually get with like everything. Crawfish. If you're gonna get you a hot sausage sandwich with cheese dressed, you gotta get you a Big Shot with it. It's a situation, but I don't know if that's the same. I'm feeling like Chick or wanna Fanta, don't you wanna Fanta? It's more of a Fanta situation
like that, but it's better. It's better.
It's really better. It's really better. Okay. It's like I feel like Fanta is the bougie version of Faygo, but Faygo be jumping.
Okay,
like, it's the ghetto version, but it's just it's everything.
Y'all know
I would love for us.
I'll try it. Add it to my liquor.
I told y'all to come to Detroit right now, but y'all don't been cold. So,
girl, did you know you just had a blizzard that stopped?
We told you summer months. Summer months,
right?
When I'm running from a hurricane, when me and Necey are running from hurricanes, okay?
That's the best season here.
Well, hurricanes don't be. Yeah, I'm up in North Texas, so the hurricanes don't come down here. The only thing I gotta be afraid of is that damn power grid failing and us not having no water and electricity if it get cold again. That's what I gotta be worried about.
Okay, so we'll all just keep an eye out. Shit, everybody got something.
I got y'all some Faygo Pop and some Better Made chips. Y'all can see what it'd be like here.
Okay. So y'all know the drill. Follow us on social media. Gotta put this at the beginning of the show so y'all don't miss out. Because I know some of y'all be sticking around for your favorite parts, but the loyal ones, they stay all the way through. And that's how you know to follow us at OohLadiesFirstPanel on Instagram. Email us and follow us all on our personal Instagrams as well. Keep up with our YouTube reviews as well for all the shows, okay? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Okay.
So, another announcement, y'all. Another church announcement. This is one of them special weeks where y'all don't just get us once on a random Tuesday, but y'all are going to get us twice this week. And I don't know, maybe we might be doing something special on Thursday, maybe not, but you just got to pop in and see. But Thursday, we will be on Bondy's channel. So y'all be sure to follow, notification bell for everybody, and also pay attention to our post on Instagram because that's where we remind y'all when we're about to go live. So
in our stories.
Yes, in our stories, and I made a post today. So I say we just go on and get into the All right, y'all. So for our first gossip topic, I figured we would keep it light and then we'll go more into the more interesting things. And what I mean light is we're talking about Zach and Val. It's so funny because we all reviewed Married at First Sight for those of y'all who are new here. And as the season first started, me and Jay Lee was like, no, like Zach hasn't done anything yet. But Zach ultimately ended up showing his ass big time. Even after the show. Jay Lee, go ahead. I saw you unmute. What you want to say?
No, I don't. I'm like, fuck Zach and fuck Val.
Oh, absolutely.
Who's
now?
Who does white lady?
Now?
Yes.
No, in the beginning, I kept saying, I said Zach on bullshit, but so was Michaela. I kept saying they both batshit crazy. They should break up immediately. And they did the whirlwind of bullshit. Okay. I'm like, get them out my face.
We ultimately ended up saying that. We ultimately all was on the same accord when it came.
Jamie and I feel like we were right. It's what
I have. And that's what I was about to get to. I'm gonna have to put a little respect on y'all's names. I'm gonna have to put respect on y'all's names, Jamie and Bonnie, because from day one, y'all were like, no, he's grooming her. No, he's testing her. And I was like, I don't think we can call it that just yet. But even after the show, Zach proved himself to be a damn fool because not only did he cry and boo-hoo to Michaela because he still wanted to smash, they ended up breaking up and he ended up getting into a relationship. I'm going to call it a relationship with his co-star, Val, who was married to Johnny on the show. They show in the Where Are You Now special where they go on their first date. But just as recent as Thanksgiving Day, he was with Val's family for the holidays. So that's why I'm going to call this a full-blown relationship. So as soon as Val posted the pictures of him at her family's house, this girl in the middle, her name is Eleanor or Elena, don't remember her last name. She goes to Reddit. Elena, thank you, Jamie. She goes to Reddit. Yeah. It's always hard for me to believe things that I see on Reddit because people always go by anonymous names and they don't really show pictures. But Pinterest. This girl was telling the truth. Yes. This girl posted a thread and she said that Zach is cheating on Val with me. She shows text messages where Zach is asking her to come over and suck his peen because he's sad and she's agreeing to do it. And then she even hopped on good old YouTube with Little Black Book and did a full interview that I watched. It was a good interview.
Yes, it's a good interview.
It was right, Bondy. It was a good interview.
Right. I'm not gonna make fun of him.
Super villain. Yeah, right. Shout out to him. But it was a good interview. and she basically told it all. Ultimately, I have to say, Zach is a dangerous man. This girl was 20 years old. He was inviting her to his place and he was dating her and would tell her, like, come over and give me some head, but you got to be gone by 6:30. And then he would be in New York with Val. And then he would get the girl something to drink. And she said she felt like, in a way, she was pressured to have sex with him. And then when she turned 21, they were still doing the same thing, which was only like probably a 6-week dating period, I would say. So I feel like she's telling the truth. The craziest thing from this interview that I heard is that Zach tried to make her feel like her exposing him and everything he had done was her fault. This man had threatened to unlife himself by claiming he was going to jump off a balcony. And this is allegedly from the words of Elena. And his family from Baton Rouge had to come to Houston to come pick his ass up because he was threatening himself. So, what do y'all think about Zach and what has happened between him and Val since the show has ended?
I'm not surprised by anything Zach do. Not surprised. I believe Elena when she first brought the story out, because she used her name. Like, her name was on her Instagram, her initials and everything was on Reddit. So I mean, she had enough text messages. Like, I'm like, I don't think she took that much time creating this stuff. I believe what she said. More importantly, what I'm thinking about is Michaela. I wonder what Michaela's thoughts are regarding all of this stuff coming out. And I wonder if she feels like, I knew I wasn't crazy. Like, I know I got my own stuff going on. But when I probably have felt gaslit by this man or anything, like, I knew I wasn't crazy. So I kind of wonder what her thoughts are about it.
I honestly am not surprised, because I feel like the very first day when she said, don't do this, and he did that shit, I was just like, she literally just said don't do something, and then you did it, and then you tried to like explain it away like everybody tripping. But the truth of the matter is, you just found you a crazy bitch to do that shit to. You know what I'm saying? But he played victim when it came to Elena, and it makes me feel like he was doing the same thing with Bao. And by Bao being the type of woman to see all of, the shit that Michaela was doing, her wilding out and all of that, everybody just assumed that it was Michaela who was the issue, and Zach was like, fine. Like, he might have had his things, but he's not. No. When she said that she went in the bathroom and came out and he was naked or something like that, like, he just took all his clothes off, and she knew.
He asked her to get naked.
Yeah, and she was like, I'm not having sex with you. She told him, I don't want to have sex with you. She had already blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird the way he does things. And he was always trying to use Michaela as being the bad guy. Everything she put me through, like, definitely had the white girl thinking that the crazy black bitch did this beautiful black man so wrong. And I'm telling you, when she was talking, that's all I could think about was you use that situation to play victim with that girl, to make that girl do all the shit you wanted her to do. And that is fucked up. Especially when, you think about the girl had explained that she was just coming off an assault. So you manipulated her into doing things that she didn't even want to do after just coming off of an assault. And I feel like she talked to him about the shit too. So
she said she didn't.
She didn't?
She said she didn't.
She didn't.
She
okay,
didn't
good.
tell him about the assault.
I thought she said she did, but all right. I was in and out. But still, it's like, when you think, I still feel like dudes like Zach know when something be wrong with a girl. They know something be off. They know it's something they can manipulate. So, like, with Bao, he knew something was wrong with Bao because of the conversations he was having with Johnny's ass. He knew something was wrong with Michaela. And I think he knew something was wrong with this young girl too, in that he could use those things to get what he wanted out of them by pretending to be the victim. And that's what he was doing with Michaela.
I do wonder too if Bao already had certain inklings or something that she felt uneasy about when it came to Zach, but still wanted to move forward in a relationship and try. I'm wondering if she already had some of those thoughts. So when the girl presented whatever information to her,
that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, she definitely questioned that timeline with her and Michaela. Because remember, everybody felt like there must have been some overlapping because that 7 days or 4 days, whatever he called it, when they broke up, when after decision day. See, that's why I think Bow and him was together by the time we got to decision day, and that whole date shit that they did from where it was then, that was some bullshit. Because you had to like already be questioning the way he rolled for this to make you be like, I'm out. Because Thanksgiving was last week.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of this stuff. So, after the show ends, I don't follow the couple, so I don't know. But Zach is Zach. So, I mean, 2 + 2 is 4. So, Zach, the math is mathing.
Okay, the other part that I cannot leave this story without saying, y'all, is the young girl, she's Hispanic. And she says there's about 2 other women. So 3 total, or 4 if you include Val. 2 other women who had been having unprotected sex with him around this time, and he was trying to convince her. He convinced her. Well, it didn't work on her, but he was trying to convince her to have unprotected sex. He was playing like he couldn't find a condom, and then all of a sudden, when she refused and said we can go to the store and get one, suddenly he found one. The other thing that I have to bring up to y'all is that as soon as she posted this stuff on Reddit, Zach went straight to Bal's house, and Bal had to call the police on him, allegedly. Yes, Bal said she was over there and she was afraid for her life. And this is from the words of Elena. So Zach, it's Hurricane Zach, not just Hurricane K.
But how do Elena know what Bal did? So
girls
because she talked about
after they do then messed around the side,
especially because it's all on social media. And Bob probably wanted to do research and everything. She wanted to make sure she had all her ducks in a row before she had a very calm conversation with Zach. Y'all know how. So when this happened, what's going on?
She had to put it in her Excel spreadsheet.
You know
and
what I'm
then
saying?
She broke it down to him and explained
exactly
what was going on
in
each cell, so he could see. Yeah.
So this
Zach is Zach.
I mean, and you're right. They do become friends.
Zach attack.
This young lady in the middle says that her and the 2 girls already have made plans to all go get tested together and everything else. So I just hate that he took advantage.
And be supportive. Yes. I actually kind of like it.
You do?
The reason why is because I feel like even if like y'all became friends from a fucked up dude, like girls be needing support. Like the chicks be needing to support each other, especially the girls that end up with these types of men. Like if you could gain any good girlfriend from a fucked up situation like this, more power to you. Because these niggas be really trying to make women hate each other.
That's
true.
If
they be friends after the fact, I find like it's some type of justice to the situation.
I guess.
I don't want a trauma bond. That's a trauma bond. I don't want to bond with my trauma mate. I'm like, we both fuck the same dude. We ain't shit. I'm gonna leave you be over there.
Do you think that's a trauma bond?
Because they gonna sit around and discuss all the shit he did to them. So they both discuss all their trauma. They gonna
talk about it with their friends anyway.
I know, but I don't want no new friends who don't fuck my dude. I don't want to discuss the dick with anybody on the.
Yeah, not my dude.
Right. They wasn't. It's not their dude though. Like he was just somebody manipulating everybody.
You don't want to be reminded of the situation, is what you're saying, right?
Because I want to move on, so I don't want to keep having like, okay, I know so and so because it's like, no, ma'am, I knew you. We prayed together. We got STD tests together, and then we done. We're gonna live separate lives in the same state, but Zach is gonna be Zach. So I'm looking like I ain't surprised. 2 + 2 is 4. Zach is Zach. So watch him on the show. I'm not surprised at all. I would be surprised if he didn't do something dumb. So it's like you see how he was on the show. You saw how he treated Michaela. Why even be with him and then make it seem as if I was tricked? No, Zach has always been Zach in one way or the other. It took us time to see the whole season to see him, but. Zach is 2 + 2 is 4.
I feel like y'all should just see them girls going down there together as an AA meeting. Okay? People supporting people through bullshit.
Right. Get it how you can. Okay. They deserve some type of peace. I don't care how you get it. So y'all, let's move on to the next conversation topic. And I guess we can talk about basketball wives. So people are down to Twitter, Instagram, already trying to spark rumors of what's to come on this season 10, I think. Any season 10 of Basketball Wives. They're saying that Malaysia has gotten into an altercation allegedly with Brooke. They're saying that who is it that's Lorenzo and Bridget are working on their relationship allegedly, and we gonna see that play out, is what they say. And then Brandy is back as well. So Jennifer made a post. Somebody on Twitter said, I heard that the new season is shaping up to be iconic. What's tea? And Jennifer then says, wish I could spill the tea, but iconic is a great word. The ladies were on fire. So what y'all think about this upcoming season? Are y'all tuning in?
Jennifer.
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
watch because I feel like people should watch the reviewers. Don't watch the show, watch our reviews, because let us tell you if it's good enough to watch. But I don't really want to believe, oh, it's an amazing season. First of all, Jennifer is a B character of a C character of a C show. So I don't really want to hear from her because she be lying and making up shit. So let me see if it's really fire. To me, fire isn't Malaysia got into it with 3 people. That's easy. Because Malaysia's a bitch most of the time. I'm like, but what's the story? Like, what's the story of the season? Like, what else is going on? So my thing is, don't just iconic because everybody else was fussing. No, do some shit. Be some people. You know, deal with them bridges and some shit. I don't care about Jennifer because I think she just wants to make it seem like because she's the last one left from the Evelyn Shawnee tribe that, oh, we great without Shawnee, we great without Evelyn. I don't believe it. I think it's gonna be a bullshit
Well,
season.
is she the last one? If Jackie gonna be, she not the last one. If
Well,
Jackie
Jennifer was
there
there
oh,
from
you
the
mean
very
from
beginning, I thought,
right,
before
Jennifer,
Jackie.
yeah, Jackie was on a different show, so she's the last one from the original season that started with Shawnee, Evelyn, and all them in Miami.
I
So she
think
wants to make it seem like it's gonna be better.
I think the season is probably going to be a good one. I do think I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to be like. It was something I was going to say about. I feel like the highlight for me is really seeing the breakdown of the friendship between Malaysia and Brandy. Since they were so tight, I feel like that's enough right there for it to somewhat be iconic to me, because I want to see that breakdown. I do feel like they got a whole lot of people on the cast, though. That's the only thing of how is this gonna look. Don't give us no love in hip hop type thing what they gave us. Like, I want to see how all of the ladies at some point are going to gel together and come back together. And then what's her name? Is it Bridget? I don't think it's Bridget. Lorenzo girl. I feel
or
like
is it London? Isn't her name like something
British?
after a play?
British. That's what
British.
Yeah, she got enough
Thank
of a
you,
storyline of
British.
her own with the fraud and stuff. So I want to know what's going on with that. So I think it's gonna end up being a good season for the most part. I mean, Jennifer wasn't the only person to say that. Evelyn Lozada said that a long time ago. That
But
the
she
show
ain't on the
was
show.
right, but she
know?
best friends with Shawnee. She get privy now,
Right,
Jay
she
Lee. You
tryna
know that's
push
an invalid
Shawnee
question to ask when
She
all of
pushing
these
Shawnee
ladies talk.
They always tell they tell
And
us
if
oh, it's gonna be a
Malaysia
great
stay in these
season, and it be
fights,
bullshit.
she
They get
know.
us hype. They get us hype. Okay, we hype, and it
I
be
feel
some.
like
I'm
Real
like,
Housewives do that.
I
I feel
think it's
like
cap.
Housewives do that.
I
You think
think
it's cap?
I'm gonna tell you why I think it's cap.
I think it's gonna be cool.
One thing about it that I don't like is all of the people. The other thing I don't like is the fact that y'all had to come back after y'all stopped taping to tape more, which makes me feel like you didn't have enough the first time, so now you want to come and get more shit. The people that y'all went and got is y'all trying to force excitement by closing out storylines that we may have just kind of left on the open-ended thing like Brandy and Malaysia. I'm annoyed because I don't really want to fuck with y'all. I don't want to fuck with y'all. I really, really don't. Hey, babe, I don't want to fuck with them. And I feel like all of this advertisement for it, all this cap, all this, oh, it's going to be great. It's forcing me to have to review this shit, and I don't want to. I want it to be lame and whack so I could not be worried about these people, because I am really aggravated by the way they tried to play the fuck out of us with these past 2 seasons. Like, don't do stupid shit, and then when people hold you accountable online, you want to get your ass up there on national television and tell us that we too invested. Like, fuck you. And then you're going to circle back around, oh, she's not going to be a part of it as much. She's still getting paid off the shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, my check matters more. So if y'all gonna watch the shit, then I guess I'll get my check off.
They gonna watch.
That part.
They gonna watch.
They gonna watch.
They gonna
My
watch
check
us.
matters more. That's the part right there. Because
we don't
I
even
haven't
watch and
watched
enjoy it.
Basketball Wives in years.
You didn't
I
watch
haven't
it in
watched
the
in
last
years.
season?
We barely, we talked about like 2 episodes on our panel. damn, it feel like we've been doing this for a minute, and it's only been since February. So many shows. But yeah, we talked about like 2 episodes, and then we stopped talking about it. So yeah, I care about my check more. So tune into our reviews. And then the other thing, Bonnie, you brought up a good point that I didn't even mention, how they started filming, then they stopped, then they started filming again. Apparently, they've been filming since June. Then they stopped in
Of this year?
October. Yes, stopped in October. And then I think they plan to film into January. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Bro, what?
Something crazy
That's what
like
I
It's
saw.
that.
bullshit. Was this the thing? Who is the one saying it's gonna be hot? Is it just the cast? Is it real blogs? Because this is the weird thing. I don't be hearing shit about this show, and I'm like, who said that? Who? And if it's Jennifer,
The bigger
look,
blogs do not cover basketball wives
and
at
that
all.
the
You are
thing.
absolutely right.
So I'd be like, for me to want to pick up a story to talk about it, I have to see like some real buzz, because it's like real. When I see like these weird, www dot, you know what I'm saying, please see me.com, you know what I'm saying,
Not
from the
please see me.
bottom.com. I don't want to read from the bottom.com. I want to read from there. I can't get it from there. So I'm like, I was like, who said that? I'm like, well, Jamie said it. No, so I'm listening to Jamie, but I'm not gonna listen to you know what I'm saying, the bottom people. No, man, I can't.
No,
Because I want
say
to
it again,
really
We're
Jamie.
know.
flipping.
I
Because
want to
when
really
I was
know
looking,
who said it for real.
when I was looking for stories, okay, I hopped on Twitter and I typed in why because I wanted to see what the buzz was. It said 90 tweets today, 90. And then the first one that popped up was Jamie. So I was like, shoot, I'm just gonna get the tea from
From
Jamie.
Jamie.
That's who I got to see
Jamie
from. I don't know
was
about
the
everybody
best.
else.
Jamie was the best source for the tea because I don't feel like anybody else had covered it, and Jamie actually put the full circle story together. So I guess we're gonna see.
We're gonna see this
Yeah, we
season.
going to.
We're gonna get our checks for sure.
We
Hallelujah.
That's why I
are.
said I would never not review it, because I feel like that's how a lot of people found me anyway. So I watch it, so y'all ain't got to. So just
But even
check
last
us out,
season,
guys.
when we did seller reviews, it wasn't even like a reviewing. It was like reading them for filth. It was just cussing them out every week, and that made me feel
It
better
was.
because it
Ooh,
wasn't like promoting the shit. It was like, let's
you
go
know what
off.
else?
What?
You know what else? Them fucking twins, the sisters,
Are they back?
Now they're back. I was
They
like,
are.
who the fuck asked for that?
Yeah,
are.
damn, they done pulled everybody
That's
from the
the
bottom. They
only
done pulled everybody from
concern
everywhere.
that's the only concern that I have, is the amount of cast members. How is the cast as a whole going to somehow gel together? That's the big concern.
They
The
not.
better question
It's
is,
gonna
how
be
are y'all
some
paying all
jumbled
these
up
people?
shit.
Oh,
They-
help me.
Chicken gift card.
$2,500 an episode.
Yeah, they're
How
not
are
getting
y'all
paid
paying all these
much.
people? I
12
know some
They get
people
episodes.
paid
getting
much.
paid in exposure. Some people getting paid in exposure. It has to be.
Some people getting paid
It's
in
costing them to
drinks.
be on the show because they gotta get their hair, their makeup, their clothes. They're probably paying more to look good on camera than they're being paid to be on camera, and that's how I know it's gonna be a bullshit ass season. Because even with Malaysia and Brandy, truth be told, they was only friends because they were trying to go against Shawnee and them. They was allies more than friends. Because my thing is, we rarely ever saw them off camera together. It was just on camera. So now when they're back on camera, they not really friends. But again, I'm like, it's gonna be some bullshit for us to cuss them out every week, and then that's it. And we get our checks, and that's it.
Cuss me out every week. I can't wait. I'm actually excited. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm excited for whatever foolery they bring to us. Kind of like Porsha show. We'll get into that later on. So let's move into the next gossip topic.
It's
And that's about a Atlanta veteran. Can y'all guess who I'm talking about? I'm being extra for no reason. Can y'all guess who I'm about to bring up next?
Candy.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm embedded your motherfucking brain. Yes, I got from.
We talking about Nene, okay? So let's start here. Oh, I thought I had the other picture, but whatever. Nene was out at whose birthday party was it? Do y'all know whose birthday party it was? She was at a party, okay? And her and this bearded, well, I'm gonna call him a white fox because this white beard. they seemingly were wearing matching like floral outfits at some party, and it was a video of her reaching out to his hand. If you had paid attention, then this picture came out of her hugging on him and her good friend Patricia Peter standing next to them. So what the hell is going on here?
Put up the
You
other
see
picture.
a comment.
Put the other one. She not fucking that man. It's too much space in between there. That's like I'm hugging him far.
Okay.
If she had her pelvic and his pelvic, that's fucking. This is
her
that's
hand
like,
is dang near on his hip and his booty.
Trina's birthday party.
This don't look like I'm. This is like I know you, and I don't want anyone to say
I thought the same thing.
I'm gonna move back my pelvis.
I saw the same thing until the video. Where's the video? Do we not have the video?
I don't have the video. I can pull it up.
But they were just sitting next to each other.
I felt like she had her hand.
She held his hand the whole time. She wouldn't let his hand go. When they were sitting next to each other, they were hand in hand.
Like it felt, yeah.
Even when somebody came over to talk, she wouldn't let his hand go.
Listen, I think she's been giving little tidbits. Let me tell you something. She know what she doing. Okay? Don't think for a fucking second that Nene Leakes does not know how her "you make me smile" post sounded. And then you go to the party and you holding hands with a man, bitch. Since when you and Trina friends, bitch? Since when? I ain't never seen y'all together before in my life. Since when y'all friends, bitch? You sit and city girl. Listen, she trying to be a city girl. It may not be a serious situation, but Nene is getting digged down from somebody, and it may be the in shape black Santa Claus. It may be.
Black Santa Claus.
Because tell me that's not what you saw when it was in the video. When Necey come back with a video and we see all the colors and shit.
But this is the thing. When I seen that video, I was like, let's see what it is.
Remove the what you call it.
Remove the yeah. Hold on.
She gonna get it.
You said remove the what?
The picture.
The overlay.
So we can
take
see
the overlay
off.
Thank y'all so much. Because I was not seeing the overlay. All right. Back to business.
We ready?
Back to business.
Yes. We're ready.
Yeah, we ready.
We're ready? Okay.
We gotta play the video. Okay, here we go. See, I want to say
Oh, it got stuck. Oh, that's him right there, huh?
Let's see that. So I
Right
did
next
see
to her.
this, but you know,
Okay.
Wait.
Wait.
That go.
The picture that's next to the video. Look where her hand is.
Yeah, she won't.
Ain't no woman putting her hand on no man's thigh.
That's her boo. They probably
The
ain't like
picture
smash it, but that's her boo.
That was next to the video.
Pull that back up so you can see it right here.
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all know I don't be trying to read too much into stuff too soon.
She don't like people enough to be that close to somebody. I'm just saying, like, look how her titty on his arm.
Jamie, you can't look no more stupid than she do already. Like so.
Y'all, I really feel like Nene is doing all this. Like this awkward hug right here is giving like I'm taller than him, but this is my man. I don't think her hands
like they
not the same height. Because when Peter
she got heels on right here. You see them heels she got on? They at least 4-inch stilettos. So I think
but it's still the same height right there, though. They still the same height. Because even her
it looked like it looked like she might have just been like joking and laughing.
Yeah,
but look where her hands are.
She probably almost fell.
Listen, we do not have to study. That's a distraction pose. Thank you. Okay, I feel like I think she knows what she's doing. I think Lenithia knows exactly what she's doing, and she knew we were gonna get onto this. She said, "I like all of it." She said, "I like all of it," and she put a heart emoji.
She sure did. But somebody wasn't she talking to this man a long time ago? Wasn't she caught up with somebody in Maryland? Didn't they say they saw her out and about one time?
They said years ago that Nene was messing around with somebody and Greg kind of knew or whatever. But look, this is the weird part.
2019. Was it 2019?
It's a couple years ago. I think the question was, is Nene moving on too fast? I always say people grieve differently. Greg been dead a couple months. I wouldn't be able to move on that fast, but I do. I wonder what
Not a couple
conversation,
months.
because Greg died a couple months
It
ago. So
still
Yeah,
feel like
about 3 months
yesterday.
ago. Yes, ma'am.
yeah, so but
Yeah.
I wonder what conversations they had before he died. Because I feel
Let me tell
like
you something.
we knew Greg
Let me tell you
died quickly, but I think they may have had a long conversation. So if she want to move on with her life with some bald headed gray beard man, and sandals, that's on Nene. But she been
But
Yeah,
gone
that's
for a
true.
while.
what about
I
the
agree.
optics of
I'm
it
about
all?
to, can I? Because I was just about to. Okay,
Come on.
I was just about to get into, but it looked
Come on,
fucked up.
optics.
And listen, at the end of the day, I don't care what conversation you had with your husband when he was on his way out. You still, as a person that is in the public eye, should have given this shit at least 6 months before a new love interest was introduced into the storyline, bitch. It's too soon. It's not even
But
that
for
it's just
who?
soon for everybody. For
That's the
us,
thing. We have to
for
stop living our life,
everybody.
but we have to stop living our life based on what other people
She
think
ain't
all the
gotta live her
time.
life for
Okay.
us, but she don't have to
So
show us
Jaylee,
either.
Jaylee,
She
with
ain't
you
gotta show
saying
us
that,
either.
I want to know. Hold that
She could have
thought. You
fucked that
said we
man in
got
her
to stop
house.
living our lives for other
Fuck him in
people.
the
I
house.
want to know how
I'm
you
just
apply
saying.
that to Porsha.
Oh, let me
But don't
close.
talk about it now. Don't talk about it
Well,
now.
I think
I
that's
just
the difference. Simon wasn't dead, and neither was Fallon.
She
Well,
said
If
what
I
does
you're
was
death
you
have to do
saying
with
moving
you
this?
on.
What does death have to do with it?
and Portia
It's
knew
over.
Fallon,
It's
but
over.
Portia knew Fallon. I think
How we know this
this is the
bearded
thing.
man
When
didn't know
no,
Greg?
when a person
Atlanta
husband
is
die,
small.
when a person husband die, I don't want to hold them accountable for how long did you stay sad. You know what I'm saying? My dad
yeah.
died, and
I
I'm like,
don't
my
think
mama been
that's what it
single since
is
20.
though.
But that's my point of view. What I'm saying is, Nene been moving different for a while. Before we knew Greg was sick. We seen then before that whole
Yeah,
Greg
she
is my
been
husband
moving
died.
fugazi.
So that's my
This
thing.
shit
We
is
don't know.
weird.
So my point is, we don't know what she's trying to do to make herself happy. I'm not saying it don't look weird, but I'm like, if she like that man with his bald head or whatever,
You
it's
love
there. But
it.
I don't think I don't be. It's like a 9-second video. I'm like, I don't know if she's fucking name it or not. But if she is, let her be happy.
It's been too many posts for me to just
Okay.
consider the 9-second video. It's been too. I ignored
So
it when I first saw it, and then after the third post, I was like, "Bitch, you trying to make us see this?" Because everybody knows these reality stars know what the fuck they be doing when their information gets all on the blogs. You doing this, Nene? You are. I think she's trying desperately to show somebody that there's a storyline. But go ahead.
yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say, Bondy. My point of view ain't so much that I think this is Nene trying to show us her new man. Y'all, just recently, Andy was on, damn, I think he was on
The
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 real.
Real.
real
Asked him, yeah, he was on The Real. They asked him how he felt about
girl,
Nene
we be on it.
wanting to come back. And he said, I know, right? Look at this synchronicity. So anyway, they asked him how he felt about her coming back. And he said that he's focused on his new cast and this amazing season for Atlanta. Like he tried to play it off. He basically said, I'm good, love, and joy. So what Nene is doing, I feel like, is trying to get his attention. Even with that post she made talking about, oh, you make me smile. But my thing is, I know a lot of people say don't live your life for other people, but my thing is, do you want to be looking crazy? Like you look crazy. That's not only saying what you would do for attention, but you're acting as though you are completely moved on from your husband passing. I'm not saying she should be sad, but you just seem eager as fuck. And that's making me think that you were eager before the man was even dead.
And
I just feel some type
honestly,
of way about that.
and let me tell you, I feel like it was obvious for a while that their relationship was one that had changed. So I believe that Nene was outside of their relationship sexually a long time ago. And honestly, if that's what they had agreed to, that's not even the problem. But it's the way that I feel like shit like this is used so that you can get back on reality TV, so that you can show up the same as you've always been. When is she going to stop doing these types of things? That, like, because it is very much to me likened to when she tried to use, not when she tried to, but when she used Greg's cancer as a storyline for a whole season and used it as an excuse to treat everybody like shit, as if, that made it okay. And I'm sorry, but it all feels the same way where you constantly use your very real pain, yes, but in a exploitive way that sometimes comes off in a disingenuous way. It makes it hard to root for you further. It makes it hard to want to come and see what you got going on when you move in this way. So she's entitled to do whatever she want to do. Honestly, I think get all the dick you want. I said she could have been fucking in their bed for all I care. Like at the end of the day, the man is gone. I'm being real. Like that's how much I give. Like, girl, he gone. Bye. Okay. Like no disrespect, but we all know everybody was doing what they wanted to be doing in that marriage before he was gone. So whatever it is, whatever it is. But come on, girl. Optics matter when you are someone who is trying to liken yourself to the public and for people to want to support what you're doing.
I think if Greg didn't get her back on the show, her dating this bald gray-haired man, they're gonna get her back. I think Greg Dine was probably the saving grace that could have got her back on Bravo. So I don't think,
and it's not.
So I don't. I think Nene out here just living life, which was gonna happen. But I don't think anything bigger than than Greg, who everybody loved, dying. Mm-hmm. That would have been her end to the show. So if Andy did say, you know what, let's have her come back, she out.
Yeah,
I think Nene been grieving for a while, and she just trying to figure shit out because she don't have nobody now. Brent, one kid got his kids, the other one too young. Nene out here, this girl, coochie free, weed free,
no, not
face
coochie free. I don't want that.
Everything
visual.
Free.
Not with
everything
Nene.
free.
I don't want.
Free.
Put it away.
Let me read this super chat real quick. Thank you for the super chat, Anna. She says Nene says Sheree might lose that spot and she can jump right in there.
Lying.
Yeah,
I've been told y'all Sheree shouldn't have been there. I've been told y'all that was a waste of goddamn time. But no, bring old ass Sheree back. Her boo in jail. Send her whole love at the lockup. Send her to love at the lockup. She ain't got nothing for Real Housewives, which y'all got her
love at the lockup. Put a okay over there too. Celebrity
love at the lockup.
Ooh, Jamie, don't give WeTV no ideas now.
Period. Send us a check. Period.
You heard it here first. But no, I think y'all both have good points. I think the word that sparked in my mind that Bondy said was exploitive. Now, Jay Lee, I think it is respectful to say people can grieve how they grieve, but when Bondy said exploitive, that's the issue for me. Because personally, I feel like morally, even if you did agree to move on, I would not feel comfortable moving on in the public eye like that. Now, with your family and friends, that's one thing, but to be playing in our faces on Instagram.
I think people who are famous, they lit if Nene went to McDonald's and so they would record because it's Nene. I think it's hard for certain famous people to not live a little bit, in the eye because when you see them, you record them. I think some folks is that's just their life and it's unfair sometimes. But Nene do be out because that's who she's been for the past. However long she been on Bravo, 13, 14 years.
She was at Trina's birthday party. She wasn't at the grocery store. That bitch wanted to be
right,
seen.
But I'm saying,
she knew where she was.
So where was she at though? So it's wherever she go, it's gonna be public. If she goes to the store, to a party, anywhere.
That's why I say he could have been all up at the house. And you ain't even have to hold his hand like that. Nobody would have even known. You ain't have to take the picture like that. Nobody would have even known. He could have been sitting right there next to you and nobody would have put two and two together, all them people around you. She wanted us to know that something is going on so we could be talking about her. So she can still be on the blogs. That's what this is. Grief or not. That's what this is.
I'm hollering.
If we were talking about a different person, I might say something else. But we're not talking about different. We're talking about Nene Leakes now. Okay? This girl is parched. Thirst.
Well, speaking of the nonsense, do I want to call this gossip or do I want to move into a different? Let me move. I just love this clip so much. I know you making me want more. Yeah, I like it so much that I'm gonna play it anyway, even though it's still kind of gossip. So let's just make it. All right, y'all. So I hope that y'all got a chance to tune into the Verzuz Bone Thugs and Harmony versus 3 6 Mafia. Jay Lee had a watch party on her channel. That's how I kept up with the little bits and pieces of what was going on. Them comments was killing me because I was like, don't want to watch. And I was like, I'll just check in here, check in there. And then y'all, the foolery happened. Y'all know what the foolery was. It was that fight. And Jay Lee, you called it. I got to tell the people that you called it because you knew something was going to happen. So let me just share a clip of what happened while we all give our thoughts on what we thought about this Verzuz.
Even get started. You ugly motherfuckers ain't finna be mocking me while I'm on motherfucking stage.
My favorite part.
Nigga, suck my dick. And gangsta boo. Suck my dick. Like, what the fuck? You're a hater. Busy ball, you're a hater. You must just take your pills. You weirdo ass nigga. Fuck wrong with you, bitch ass nigga.
Bro, that man made it to the back.
Well, no, technically, Flesh yanked him back.
Okay, I'll play it one more time. Let's listen one more time.
Like straight the fuck up. Nigga, suck my dick. And
Ugly motherfuckers.
Suck my dick. Like, what the fuck? You're a hater. Busy ball, you're a hater.
Girl, that man willingly made it to the back.
You weirdo ass nigga. Fuck wrong with you, bitch ass nigga.
Who was that in the white? Who was that in the white? Because they the one that escalated the
Hey,
shit.
before we even get started,
I think that their security.
you
or
ugly
motherfuckers
motherfuckers ain't finna be mocking me while I'm on motherfucking stage.
I'm sorry,
Like
y'all.
straight
That shit
the
is
fuck
still
up.
funny to me.
Suck my dick.
You
And
ugly
gangsta
motherfucker.
boo. Suck my dick.
All right, this is the last shit. This is the last time. I gotta watch it one more time.
Let's just take your pills. You weirdo ass nigga. Fuck wrong with you, bitch ass nigga.
Juicy J. That was Juicy J that really threw the first lick. Lazy was trying to hold everybody back.
The lazy one stood in front of Busy.
Yeah,
I think
he
they
was
were
trying
trying
like,
to
he
not
was like, come on,
to
y'all.
stop it. Because
Come on,
Lazy walked
y'all.
up first, then Wish walked up, and then you seen security or whoever
He didn't
from.
really want to fight. He threw a
3
water
6
bottle
that.
and some plastic cups.
This comment right here is what took me out, where they said, "Busy ball, you a hater. You must didn't take your pills."
Yeah.
They are too much, but ultimately, y'all, they ended up, handling the dispute.
I want to apologize to everybody the fuck out there on both sides. I'm not trying to fuck this shit up.
Busy crazy. Everybody know Busy crazy. Like, everybody know that. And honestly, he told on himself. He told on himself in his video. He talked too much. He was talking, and I feel like he kind of let it out that he did that shit intentionally because he knew that the crowd that came for 3 6 Mafia and Bone Thugs and Harmony was going to want to see some ignorant shit. They was going to want to see everybody, shake hands and get through the show. But they needed to have a moment where there was a melee and the cameras had to back up and it was dramatic and we didn't know what was going to happen and shit. And then everybody come back and we shaking hands and we adults now. All you niggas like 40, 50 years old after doing drugs for 30 years. Y'all shouldn't even have all this energy. It's crazy to me. But yeah, they definitely did that shit. I think Busy did that shit for the sake of the show being put on. You know what I'm saying?
I know I seen him do a live that night, and it was like 2 hours he was talking on a live.
He was laying in bed?
Yeah, it was that live. He also did a second one, I think it was with Fat Joe. Because I think it was also
the next day they did an interview, right?
And yeah, so it's weird because you can't tell somebody to suck your dick. I think everybody knows that's just the quintessential thing to like piss somebody off. And I think Busy has, like, he was kicked up as a kid, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he been through all of the bullshit. So I think when people say he crazy, I think people don't get the reason he has triggers. It's because of what you've been through
that's
as
why
a kid.
He said the thing about the pills.
Right. So I think, you know what I'm saying, is that one. So that's why I think he's always, but Busy has always over the years been the one
Let me
that
not
will
say
react.
crazy. Let me say volatile. How about that? Is
Right.
that a better word?
He's a reactor. I think he's a reactor. And I like when he said that. He said, I don't think they would have said suck my D to Crazy or to Lazy or to whoever. They did it to me because they know I'm gonna react. So I think, you know what I'm saying.
But didn't he say suck my dick after you called them ugly motherfuckers?
But I think people can fuss back and forth and talk shit, but I think the quintessential man code is don't say suck my dick in no gangster shit. I know you can't say that shit here to somebody. It'll start a fight. Like I've seen people fight for less. I've seen
that's what I'm
fight for
saying.
that.
Like
So-
I've never known that there was that one thing because I've just seen people fight over any old damn thing. Suck my dick has never been that deep in New
But even
Orleans.
with-
People say
even
a lot
with-
of fucked up
no,
shit.
with Dipset-
before
with
the fight
Dipset-
break out.
With Dipset and
You suck my dick. You suck my dick.
who did Dipset go against? What would Dipset win against?
He
The
said I
Lox.
wasn't gonna tell that nigga suck my dick back. The fuck? That
Exactly.
shit was funny
So-
when Busy said that shit in the video. But I
I
still
know
feel like it. Even though I feel like the bullshit of it is genuine, it's like a reality show. Ultimately, you still know you gotta be in this heightened state reacting to shit. Because ultimately, you could have just walked off stage, you could have said something. He wasn't really trying to fight nobody, throwing cups and shit. That's why I'm saying like he just needed to overreact to the moment because that's what people wanted to see. And I think he said that shit. He said that shit.
Ultimately, the part that killed me about this whole damn Verzuz was when I hopped on Twitter and everybody was trying to say Busy Bones is Shia LaBeouf.
Why is Shia LaBeouf?
Okay, I'm so mad. No, his face. I'm mad that I didn't upload a picture of it. I'm gonna have to find it. But they said they look like twins. I'm surprised y'all didn't see it. Yeah.
Which one? Oh yeah, Shia
it.
LaBeouf. Yes, I did see that.
Yes,
It was hilarious.
they look just alike.
It was Busy. They said that Busy looked like Shia LaBeouf playing Terrence Howard. Was that the order?
Don't remind me of when Terrence Howard came out there walking around fast and shit. In my eyes, I done seen some crazy things in the street. He was so excited to be there. Look at it.
It was a fun versus for me. I think
was.
after the fight, the energy got better. I seen Busy rapping his ass off. They brought out everybody from Houston and Memphis. They brought out everybody, Project Pat, and everybody came out. When you bring out Lil Wayne and Chameleon,
I was not expecting Wayne to come out.
Like it was an amazing show. I think people forget how popular their music was at the time it was popular. So to see them all come out and do hit after hit after hit after hit, I had a great time.
Me too.
Even Terrence Howard. I like Terrence Howard. All right,
you know it's hard out here for a pimp. You know when it's trying to get that money for the rent. You know when I got
Six Mafia.
I'm going to
got the bullets every day.
It's finally time. December 2nd versus at the Palladium against
Shia LaBeouf imitating Leonardo DiCaprio acting as Terrence Howard.
What? I don't see it in the face, but I definitely feel that, I'm out in the woods with a gun, don't come too close type vibe from the both of them. From the both of them. I was just thinking about that time he had got he was threatening people with guns on camera and then got arrested. That's what my mind went to. I don't know if he got arrested, but the police showed up. I forgot. Mm-hmm. The police showed up. But either way, it was just like that was probably one of them times I was like, what the fuck going on with Busy? Like, so when this shit happened, I was just kind of like, this nigga is like the what you call him, a B2K. What's your boy from B2K that's always wilding out?
Raz
B. Yeah, he's the Raz B. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
I didn't even realize I was muted. Raz B, yeah. Overall, I thought that it was super entertaining. Jami, did you give your thoughts on the show?
I didn't watch. I didn't. I felt a way that they were charging me $3. So I went and sat my ass down in the room.
But you know it's only $3 if you watch the 3 camera one. It's free if you watch the one. It's the free if you watch the one
from Instagram.
Yeah.
I caught the bite though. I mean, they're just putting everything on social media, so I saw enough, but I wasn't too crazy.
Jay Lee was the way for me. I was like, thank you.
Yeah, I was watching it with Jay Lee on the TV. And I was in Thuggish Rugged.
The comments be fun. It's just fun having a conversation.
For sure.
And you popping up at the bottom of the screen. But I was dying. She was
drunk.
Little bitty box.
I was drunk.
I
was dying.
But that's why I don't drink when I work, because then I went live and I was like,
it was a good time had by all.
That's what's up.
Look into my eyes and tell me. Now I'm gonna have damn Bone Thugs and Harmony stuck in my head all day. And then they didn't even do. They didn't do Baby Mama, did they? 3-6 Mafia didn't do Is My Baby Mama. You ain't know I'm on child support. She get welfare checks, but I stay in court.
They could. They had 18 other featured guests come out and do their songs.
They did do it. Okay. They did Chicken Head.
Yeah, I only seen Bits and Pieces.
Chicken
Head. Well, all right. Let's move into our next favorite segment. All right, y'all. Let's talk about Ready to Love. Y'all, is it just me? But is this season not hitting like the Houston season
at all? At all?
It's not.
Not even a little bit.
It's been a lot. Dry.
You know what it is?
So dry.
I think each season before now, we've at least seen people like couple up, and we're kind of following those couples. And this season, it's like we haven't really. No one's coupled up. It's like everyone is still figuring things out. So I think that's why it's like, it's like we can't even really discuss the couples yet because we're still trying to figure out who like each other. So I don't get why it's like that this season.
The editing is trash as well because they're showing us people go link up with other people's friends and family, but we didn't even know these people were an option or even interested in each other. I don't know who's on the production staff, but they need to revert back to season 1. It also was said, somebody hopped in my comments and said that they're going to be back in Houston again for another season. So I'm like, are they doing this for each season? I think they was in Atlanta twice. They were in, I'm sorry, not Houston, but DC. They were in Houston twice. And then now they're about to be in DC twice or something like that. Let's not say we did. I don't know. I don't know if it's production or if it's the cast. Like, I don't know if the cast don't know how to, how to date, and then production has to then piece together shit that don't make any sense. Because I'm like, how do we not see Aisha this episode? Like, what if it was Aisha?
Right.
But one episode,
somebody commented on my video and they said that apparently Aisha couldn't film this week, but one of the telltale signs that they were editing this with damn iMovie was that, tell me if y'all noticed this, I mentioned it in my review. Whenever the men got to deliberation, Frank was talking down on Zadia and said Naeem only sees what Zadia shows him.
Yes, it was very. I had to rewind it. I had to rewind it like 3 times because I was trying to even understand what the fuck he was saying. Because he didn't even say what you said. He didn't even he was just like, oh, I think he's not seeing the bigger picture when it comes to Zadia. It's like, what are you talking about?
Right. He said he's only seeing what Zadia presents. And then, one last thing.
Yeah.
Last thing so I could stay where they chopped and screwed. Then, in the same episode, Frank uses the word shrinking. So I feel like it's 2 options. We know for the previews for next week that Zadia gets into an argument in front of the men. So option 1 is that Sydney told him about the fallout between her and Zadia in the ladies' lounge, and that's why he's using the word shrinking. Or option 2 is they're editing confessional footage from next week when they're on the trip and dropping it into this episode because that would have been his firsthand account of Zadia being, unlikable.
You do see some of the confessionals are different outfits, so we know that there's stuff further on to the season for one. And it do seem like they be having conversations and they will just cut out what someone said, post a response. And you be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Because I felt like the guys were having a conversation about Zadia. And maybe he was defending her, which made dudes say he not seeing the bigger picture. But what the fuck was your picture that he don't like? It was weird to me. I'm
they showing us the end and not showing us the beginning. Like, how did we get it?
That was the part that was missing, is how everybody views Zadia. But when he said it, I just took it as how Cornelius is with Camille. How many options does Naeem really have? So he just goes along with who's going along with him. So that's what I took it for. But I feel like y'all made a point because I don't even know where Frank's thoughts even, we haven't seen enough interaction for him to say something like this. So I want to know now, what are you even referring to?
Aisha had a connection with Frank and Phil, and they, you know, both of those things just kind of have disappeared because, like, we haven't even heard a lot from Phil about Aisha either. It's been Shiloh and who? Shiloh.
It was Tasia, but
Tasia, yeah,
And she
Shiloh,
gone.
Tasia.
So.
But even
So
when Walker
y'all,
was talking about not saying Camille's name, I'm like, why would y'all not say Camille's name solely
Right.
because she's the only person that Cornelius was? I'm like, no, the point of this show should
And
not
then Cornelius turned around and said the one that you was talking to, which was Sabrina. I was just like, why?
Backstabbing.
That was so
messed up.
I feel like Camille.
I don't like him.
I think Camille should go home. I think that was sending Cornelius
I think
home.
Camille and Cornelius need to go home. I think
They not really
fake,
like.
He fake
It's
nice.
weird. I think they both. I think they both know they. I think the mistake was they only got to know each other. She did not allow him to talk to anybody else. He was dumb enough to go through that. But now it's too late for either of them to connect with somebody else. They want to keep each other there because if not, once she go home, he go home, and it's vice versa. So I'm like, well, that's y'all fault. Y'all should have gotten to know at least one other person.
I blame production too, because what bothered me, which is why I feel like production has a hand in this show being trashed this year. When was it always ever okay for one man to continue to go on the same date with somebody he's already apprehensive about? Why y'all kept having him match up with this woman for like what, 2 or 3 dates? I didn't understand that.
Who?
I didn't like Cornelius and Camille. Whenever he would go on dates in the beginning, she would be there. I'm like, why are we doing this? They were trying to create TV moments.
Yes, and one more thing I'm gonna say about Cornelius. I hate, something in my spirit just don't sit right. And every week I try not to talk about this man not being interested in women, but every week I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. We walk into the man's house and we see the rainbow Wakanda picture in the home, okay? Very handsome man. But overall, the story don't make sense because Cornelius likes to be chased. And I feel it very odd that you are calling yourself a man of God. Don't reach and think I'm questioning this man's damn faith. I'm just saying, it's typical for
people hiding their faith. People hiding. They use Christianity and all of that to hide.
Exactly. He's using it to hide like it's that blanket in the Harry Potter movie. But you're telling us that you're a Christian man, and I'm expecting you to want to lead. But I think Cornelius is only interested in Camille because he doesn't have to chase. And that to me is boring. Both of their asses should go home. And Cornelius is ultimately just looking for somebody to bring home to his parents. And I'm like, for that reason, the man should have said Camille instead of trying to do this man a favor because he's nice. We don't give a fuck about
him. I think he wanted to be here for the show. I think he's a model. I think he wants to be seen every week, and he think I don't think he likes anybody else there. And because Camille is on bullshit, if I fuck with her, I give her camera time because she a little bit cuckoo, and I look great. I'm gonna bring her to my house and focus on my picture of myself. I think it's more about him wanting exposure as a model, as an actor, than it's about him trying to bring somebody home to his mom. I think he's playing a role because he wants attention. I think that's what it is. I don't think he's gay. I think he wants to be seen, get some jobs, book some jobs, because I look gorgeous every week. I'm a nice guy every week. And I think he ain't trying to know anybody else because it's more of a juicier story if I'm the guy who Camille kind of drug along the whole season, because then I get more story time. I think he's wanting attention.
Then that would make me wonder if he was interested in white women.
I think he likes black women. I think he just also loves himself more enough to where he wants to be seen. I think some of these shows.
Because I mean, if that's the case, I'm trying to understand why not have that connection with anybody then. Like if he just wanted to be seen and he, he could have, and he was actually turned on by any of these women, he could have still been in them. And from what I understand, like him and Camille barely even talk to each other when they're not filming.
And then he calls Zadia sexy. It was when he called Zadia sexy for me out of nowhere. And it gave me very much like,
because everybody else says she's sexy,
false manliness. Like I felt like he was trying to put on and be like a very aggressive pursuer by using the word sexy. Like you haven't even shown interest really in even Camille, who you have a fake connection with. So for you to sit up there for the first time and say to Zadia, I think you're sexy, I was like, where is this coming from? And I felt like it was fake effort. So it may be what you're saying, Jay Lee, and maybe what I'm saying, that he ain't into women like that. But I guess we're not gonna find out.
I think if that's what you
So he
think,
not
Jay
ready for
Lee,
love.
if you think he's there to get attention and to act and all that other stuff, I feel like then him and Camille go hand in hand. Because I feel like that was the reason why she was there as well. She said something about she's an actress or something she said about being in theater or whatever. So she was there to do a job. So I feel like that's probably why they keep each other so close to the vest, because they both want the same thing. So they're just trying to get to the end. So
and
I can see that.
Somebody should have intervened and sent their asses home.
Maybe coming up soon.
I think when Walter said don't say, I'm like, no, say Camille, because saying Camille is saying Cornelius. So either one of them can go home because the other one go home next. They don't need to be there. They're not there for the right reasons.
I have a question. So do y'all believe that Walter's ex was indeed his ex?
Hell no.
I was about to get there next, Jamie.
I don't know, because I don't know, because sometimes you be shocked, but it's like, she just seems so different. And I'm like, is that who you like now? Is that an old ex?
Right.
Like,
remember he said he was a reformed thug. Like, yes. I thought she was a fake ex, but he did say he was a reformed thug.
Child, y'all crazy as hell if y'all think somebody found an actress like that. I mean, it wasn't just the nails and the attitude. It was the hair. It was the outfit. It was the way she was talking. That lady is as real as they come. I promise you any money.
Yeah, she
that Walter absolutely dicked that lady down all up and down somebody's hot bedroom one day. Okay? I promise you.
Walter's a playboy. Walter comes off. Walter now is more reserved. I get that. But you can still see who he used to be is still slithering through his skin. So when I seen the old girl, I'm like, that's old Walter. That can't be new Walter. And I also feel like that's what made Sabrina be standoffish, because I think she was surprised who was sitting there. Because I feel like Sabrina felt like, I don't owe you any respect because I'm better than you. That's what I got from her,
which was
being
weird.
However, homegirl was smart. Homegirl was smart and read you the fuck down and peeped that you was crazy off rip. Okay, she read you the fuck down. Okay, so you can say what you want to about the way she looks or the way she shows up in this world, and she's not sitting, straight up and down the way you are, but she clocked them crazy eyes that you sporting.
But I think she was friendly, because even when she just said, like, okay, what question do you have? And for her, like, I don't eat, I can ask. I'm like, bitch, you had 5 friends interrogate 2 men last week. How you upset because one woman is saying, hey, what do you want to know about him? The same way you had your friends asking the guys, hey, what are your red flags? It pissed me off because I really felt like she was looking down on old girl based on her hair, being natural and just down flat ironed or whatever. The little Kim sunglasses, the long nails, the look, you know what I'm saying? It made me feel like she felt like I don't have to give you any time. And then said, I gotta go. I got an appointment because when we walked in. Sabrina made me mad.
She did. I was ready for her to go with them. She can go. Y'all can go ahead and pack her bags up, send her on her way. I didn't like it. And the fact that you felt like you couldn't answer or ask any questions, but you let your family grill these other 2 men, girl, go have a seat. Y'all can take her, kick her off the show. And then had the audacity to feel away when she was on the chopping block.
Right.
And it seems like she knew she was on the chopping block, so she tried to throw it off on the men, and them not actually coming up to her, reaching out to her. She felt like she was pursuing them more than they was pursuing her. I said, y'all can go and scratch her. I wanted her to go home.
I hope they send
I was watching home. And I was thinking, ma'am, you're 45. Pipe down. She was reminding me of Naya from the previous seasons. The one who, the type of woman where you're like in your mid 40s, but you still have this like early 20s city girl, I'm that bitch mindset about you. And I felt like that's what she was doing in that scene when she was talking about, Zaddy know where home is. Like, girl,
even when she was wearing,
it comes out when she feels like she's been done wrong. So then the little cat, because she wasn't, I think we thought, oh, she's just nice, flower child. And it's like, where does attitude come from? So yeah, I get Nia vibe from her too a little bit.
I felt like she was full of shit from the first episode because old dude was trying to speak Korean to her and she didn't know it, but she got all these fucking tattoos in Korean. But all right.
Real exotic type. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't like that shit was like, okay, bitch, we see. Oh my God, calm down. We got it. Like, I can't stand women that's so excited to point out their otherness around Black people because they've only felt good because they're the other amongst Black people. So you're not the regular Black girl. I'm using quotation marks with my fingers. Okay, regular. Okay. That's what that was.
An attitude like Zendaya.
I don't know, because I feel like Zadia definitely had more sense when she went on that date with Naeem and she wasn't being caught off guard. I feel like when she get caught off guard, that's when she probably is like, well, I'm not about to pretend like I'm not uncomfortable.
Right.
I think I got bad vibes when she had that because was the last week when she was fussing with Aisha about shrinking. I think that's the first time we seen Zadia's attitude. It was like, what the fuck where that come from? So I think that may be the thing where with Sabrina we see the attitude because of the girlfriend being around. So both of the attitudes came out when they felt like, you can't you can't check me or whatever. Or
Sabrina made a face too.
Me.
Remember when Zadia reacted? Sabrina made a face too. So y'all right?
What I was saying. Mm-hmm. She did. I told y'all that Sabrina said when something Sydney made that comment. Even did. Yes, and she was sitting directly next to Sydney. So that's why I didn't think Zadia was wrong, because I'm like, why didn't you say nothing to Sabrina, who was sitting right to your damn left? You could have said something to her.
And you know what else? Lord. It made me think about this episode, made me think about last week's argument at the table with Aisha, because then I'm like, okay, so Aisha, I see that you actually are dating somebody that you feel like Zadia is just playing around with. Which one is it? Is it Dante? It's one of them that Aisha is dating, and so is Zadia.
It's Dante.
It's Dante, right? So, and I feel yes, and I feel like Aisha was like, "Girl, you're not even worrying about Dante. You need to just go ahead and scratch him off your list and worry about Naeem, so I could worry about Dante." Like, that's probably what was actually going on in that scene, but the way they cut it up.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said that last week because I felt like they were gaslighting Zadia into making it seem like she was on 100, but they were really being passive with the comments towards her. And the way I felt Aisha was coming across was like, if you went ahead and made your decision, then I could be picked. It was very pick me,
right? But they were editing it weird, so we didn't know.
I didn't think Zadia was doing the most.
You was right, girl. You was right.
So Tasia goes home. Do we care at all?
No, she should have.
I hope she watches
went home 2 episodes ago.
I hope she watches herself and sees how terrible her posture is when she's insecure.
I just don't think this is the right show for her. I feel like she liked people who she thought liked her, and I don't think she ever really tried to like really be in it. I think she was just there, and I felt like her uneasiness was her knowing I ain't supposed to be here because I don't like nobody here. But because one guy like me, I'm gonna like him, but then he don't like me, and I'm mad. So I think because from episode 1, she felt like why I'm getting home. I think since that episode when she was in the bottom 2 or whatever, she still felt like why am I here? But I'm just here, and if you like me, I like you. But I know you can't. This season is shit. It's a shitty season.
Simply put. Y'all have any other comments for the show before we move on? No. All right. Let's move on to Porsha's Family Matters, y'all. I know a lot of people don't watch this show, but they definitely come in for our reviews, and I appreciate it. Y'all, this show is, I have to say, it's entertaining at the least, because I feel like Porsha thought this show was going to give something that it's not giving. And it's actually making her look bad in a lot of different ways than what she thought. But I have to say, this episode, I see what her thought process was as far as getting with Simon although I still disagree with it. I keep saying she's taking them bob, belly, and all as long as they got a bag. But I also feel like this show, even more so, is revealing that Simon is the city boy. Even though Porsha had a city girl mentality by choosing to get with Simon. Simon is choosing Porsha because she has her own bag. So this episode, there were probably 3 key highlights where we see that Simon meets her family. When he meets her family, he then tells her in his previous relationships that he's learned that he's often the rescuer and he doesn't have to be the rescuer. And in my opinion, that was him basically saying, I ain't never been with a woman that got her own bag. And in this situation with Porsha, she got her own bag and I get the clout off of her. So that's why this situation will work and my other marriages didn't. And then we see Dennis and Porsha go to dinner, which we'll get into. Lastly, we see Gina and Porsha clash. So let's start with Simon meeting the family. What do y'all have to say about that whole sit down with Porsha's family and them acting like they were oh so optimistic about Simon while wanting to mention that Dennis had cheated?
I just didn't understand why everybody was crying and being so emotional about stuff. I didn't understand where that came from. I also didn't like that the grandmother, I don't know. It was just.
Can I?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So I think that everybody was emotional for 2 reasons. I think that everybody was surprised as shit that Simon was there. They, I think, thought that Dennis and Porsha were still together on some level or something along those lines. Okay, but I think everybody, because I believe somebody, the cousin or somebody said that everybody was like shocked to shit that Simon was actually there like that. And so I believe the tears were about, first of all, we really wanted Dennis and Porsha to be together. And now it's really over because they're all sitting at this table together acting like it's all good. I think that was one thing. And then the other thing is that I think that they were drinking. Hold up. And there's a third thing. They were drinking, and you know how drinks make you a little bit more emotional. But the other thing is that I think a lot of those women don't know what it's like to have men be supportive like that. So when Dennis shows up and still does the supportive daddy thing and supports this shit show of a relationship, the women, you know, are like, oh my God, you know, they're putting aside everything for the kids. But honestly, I feel like it's a little bit of sadness because people wanted Dennis and their families at this point wanted Dennis and Porsha to be together. That's why the grandmother got up and was like, you know, it's okay, baby. Y'all just wanted different things. You know, it's okay. My son was a playboy. I get it. Maybe eventually you might want to settle down. That's why the grandma was saying that. Because I think that everybody was like, they wanted Dennis and Porsha to be together, but Dennis didn't want to be tied down. And I think that's the main thing that everybody is forgetting and missing because Porsha was with Bolo and all of this shit. But Porsha wanted to be married and in a family and in one household with Dennis hot dog ass. And Dennis kept getting caught out here in the streets with little young thoughts all over the place. Like, y'all know, I think the last time where that really broke them up after that, and they probably were never back together was when I was sent the picture of him at the diner at like 2 a.m. sitting in between all of them girls at the Waffle House. So that was probably when shit, I think that was the beginning of 2020. So it might have been like, that was when shit was like, okay, we broken up. And then they will probably get back together, like fuck around and stuff, but they were still seeing other people, which is why Porsha probably fucked with Bolo, because we don't go together no more. I can get dick if I want to, just like you out here fucking all these little young girls, right? I don't know how the Simon situation came about, and I would really love to find out how she and Simon actually met, because that's the only thing I'm confused about. But I think she was fucking with Simon, thinking that Dennis would get jealous and come to his senses, and that didn't happen. Christmas, she was like, Dennis, last try. Come to the house with the ring. You give me the ring, we'll work on it, we'll fix it. Dennis didn't come with the ring. He forgot. So Porsha said, okay, I'm going to go full throttle with Simon. And, now, we've seen since then everything that's happened. But I really do feel like the family was like, shocked at the way everybody's sitting at the fucking table together, that really means the Porsha and Dennis thing is over.
So I think people forget, Porsha and Dennis got together after a couple months. They got pregnant with PJ. So I feel like people don't get Porsha move fast for one, but also within that, I do feel like Porsha and Dennis never had a chance because they didn't even take the chance to get to know each other. They got together, was fucking, had a baby, let's get engaged, let's be married. And I just don't think Dennis ever wanted to be tied down. So while what he did was fucked up, you also have to be careful when you move too fast, because you was involved with a guy who didn't want this wife, baby, family life. He wanted, because Porsha at that point was fun. There's parties. She was a fun Porsha, and she went from fun Porsha to now my mom, and she calmed down, and Dennis never did. I think with Simon, she feel like I can party with Simon, I can travel with Simon. Simon got money, and again, it's storyline. And I think the family feel like we don't know Simon, we know Dennis. So I still feel like that was the wrong time to have a conversation because it's Porsha's birthday. I didn't get why anyone even brought it up. That part was stupid. I think if Dennis is there, there's no need to even rehash their shit because she has a fiance now. So a part of me feel like they still bring up Dennis because Porsha do. So I think all of that was they were feeling what Porsha feel. Porsha can't cry for Dennis. Her mama can, grandma can, auntie can, sister can. Dennis' mama can, because they know Porsha really wants to be with him, but they also know Dennis don't really want to be tied down. Dennis loves Porsha, he do, but Dennis also wants to be free out here with hot dogs, do whatever. So Porsha's feelings are from her family is pouring it all out for Dennis to hear. I wish we could be together. I wish it worked. Because Porsha can't say that. Because my thing is, you can't sit with me and my dude and speak about me and my ex. Because to me, that's rude to my dude. So you can't do that. I've had my 30th birthday party. My dude and my ex was there. We can't have this conversation. Respect my dude. So the fact that Porsha never said, let's kill this conversation, to me was like she wanted them to say all of that because she couldn't. And Simon being
good
new,
observation,
knocking on the door, not coming in. No fiance should stand and wait for someone to let them in your house. If y'all are in love, how you say y'all is, he's comfortable coming in your house because y'all already have that bond. Simon waiting to come in, but Dennis came around the back and came in with his mom and his daughter. Yeah, he's more comfortable than the Simon.
Ooh, come on, context clues. I feel like I'm reading the whole Spark Notebook.
Yeah,
it's him coming around the back.
He came around the back and came in the house. Simon waited on the front door,
holding a baby, okay, with his mama, and then his mama was always also crying. I don't know if y'all peeped that, but his mama was crying too, and that's when I knew everybody's upset that Porsha and Dennis are not gonna work it out because everybody thought they were gonna work it out.
They will. Porsha and Simon is not gonna last.
Oh no,
the chemistry between Porsha and Dennis.
Where is it? I don't see it.
Even when Simon's sitting there, Porsha and Dennis, Porsha and Dennis still has a connection. Even how they laugh at each other, how they argue, how they disagree.
When she said at the table
it's
at the
whole
end,
vibe.
She said, "You did not cheat on me. We would still be together."
Right. I can't wait to get into that part. Jami, did you have any thoughts about the cookout?
I feel like they said everything. They gave me clues I didn't even consider or think about as far as why everybody was up there crying. I don't feel like the ship has sailed 100%. I feel like it's going to be revisited. I think she's going to be coming back to Doc. I just hope if she gives him another chance that he actually does do right by her, okay? Because y'all have time now, okay? It's not that y'all moving too fast. Y'all got a whole child.
I don't think
she need to move on from both of these men.
I think Dennis wants to be in an open relationship. Whoever he be with gonna have to deal with him sleeping around.
Not an open one, child.
Yeah,
that's why they couldn't agree. That's why they couldn't agree.
I mean, she did say that at the end when she talked about how he's still around the same people. He hasn't changed anything. But I was kind of hoping that maybe him actually seeing her with somebody else would probably trigger something to make him want to like do right.
Give
But
him
let
a
me
And
tell
it
year.
you,
hasn't.
Give him a year break. Let Dennis fuck whoever. Let Porsha have fun.
Mm-mm.
Give him about a year,
He
and
not
they
gonna
can
change.
maybe. But I think if you give people time to get it out your system, like
I
really,
don't think there's
people
a
you can
such
live
thing for
life
some people
sometimes.
to tell you the truth. I don't think there's a such thing as getting it out your system. I don't.
Not like it's done, but I
I
Mm-mm.
do think let Dennis do what he think he wants to do. Because we've known men and women who don't want to be faithful and they have fun. Now you know this ain't fun no more,
can I
and they
tell
go back
y'all?
home.
I've been reading a book. I've been reading a book with my members. And I just finished reading this part of the book where Porsha talked about that first football player that she was messing with, Clinton. She got pregnant by him. And she told him she was pregnant, and he didn't want the baby. He didn't want the baby. And she had to go and get, an abortion by herself. And I think that ever since that situation, when you then turn around and have Dennis cheat on her during her pregnancy, like when you read the book, it almost makes it seem like that shit Dennis did cut her really, really, really deep. When she said, I could never get over you cheating on me when I was pregnant, she meant that shit because of that situation that happened with dude, where she got pregnant. She really wanted that baby, y'all. She really, really wanted that baby. But him making her feel like, that's not what their relationship was, when she thought that's exactly what their relationship was, like that, her having to give up that baby, that caused a real, like, I think a rift. And then when she finally got pregnant for Dennis turns around and cheats on her. So when they did have that little dinner at the end, I'm sorry, Necey, I know I'm rushing into it, but she told him that she was gonna have to worry about him cheating on her with a younger woman forever. And that's when I realized why she's with Simon. Because Simon is the old nigga that makes her feel like the young Black Marilyn Monroe that she sees herself as.
So should I read a book? Because it sounds very telling.
Honestly, it is kind of good, and it gives you insight on her. And I'm only on chapter 4. And child, between me doing my audible voice, relaxing the shit out of people and giving commentary, child, it's a good time. So y'all should check it out if y'all want to.
One thing I feel like this show is doing for her though, coupled with the book gives us additional information, but I feel like it explains why, just as Bondy said, why she chose Simon. Ultimately, I feel like Simon could have been anybody. He was just the closest to her, who on paper made sense and could get the job done to make Dennis jealous. And I felt like she said that when she said to Dennis, if you hadn't cheated, we still would have been together. And that told me this is why. Then in the final scene, and y'all can comment on the dinner table as well, but I have to say this. In the final scene, when she's talking to Mama Gina says, did your grandma say that to embarrass Dennis? Porsha then in turn says, well, Dennis has done things to embarrass me. And in that moment, Porsha's answer easily could have been, no, my grandma wasn't trying to embarrass him. But the fact that her first response was, Dennis has done things to embarrass me, still tells me that hurt is on the forefront of her mind. Revenge, trying to get even, I want him to feel how I felt, is still on the front of her mind. And also, as Jay Lee said earlier, she wants her family to be her voice. So she appreciated them talking about him in that moment. Tells me that she's still extremely hurt by Dennis, so much so that she can't even think about the fact that she's engaged to a married man. So I think that spiritual counselor was an amazing gift. And it's something that she really needs to look into, because honestly, I don't think that she's doing right by being with Simon, but I see why in her mind it makes sense for her to be with Simon for now. I think ultimately she should be with neither one of these men, and she could have found somebody else, but she was ready to do the get back quick scheme with Simon to make Dennis feel some type of way.
Porsha still hurt by Dennis, so she shouldn't even be with Simon. Porsha still is mad with Dennis. So it was like, I feel like when you are still emotionally connected, whether good, bad, or indifferent, to your ex, you not
shouldn't have
even in the
moved
right
on.
headspace to
Right.
be engaged
Yeah.
to anybody else.
She
can
rushed
still
into
date.
that so fast.
I'm gonna say she should, not date anybody, but to jump into an engagement and then make it seem like it's this wonderful God placed him in my lap. It's like, no, you're trying to compensate for how unhappy you are that you and Dennis did not work out. You're still upset about that.
She is. And go back a little further. Somebody mentioned it in the comments. Rami Ricardo mentioned it in the comments about how in the book, Porsha talks about her daddy locking her in the car all day because she told the wife about him taking the kids to go see his girlfriend. And after that, honestly, the daddy would lock the kids in rooms often whenever they were getting on his nerves or doing something he didn't like, which made him sound like an alcoholic to me. A little bit like, I'm drinking, y'all go locked in the room, then he forget they there, they come out and he act like everything's okay, they have a great time, like that switch. But it sounded very cruel to me that he would do that to her. So she's constantly trying to be perfect, which is why she wants to be always bubbly and in this little girl phase, because as soon as young women, a lot of time when men are fucked up, they're really fucked up to women. So the little girl in you gets all the love and respect and admiration. But as soon as you turn into an adult woman on your daddy, all of a sudden the relationship changes. And I don't know if she ever got to that point, but I feel like the abandonment issues that she has with her dad and the way he treated her whenever she was outside of that scope, it definitely, to me, is why she has chosen the men that she has chosen. It really does go all the way back to that damn daddy. That damn daddy was terrible. And it's much like the Lisa Ray situation where they put the daddy on a pedestal, but really the daddy wasn't shit.
Oh, so
Sorry,
what
Porsha.
are y'all's thoughts on Mama Gina and her enabling her son? I do have to say, I wish
Mama
that
Gina in a
Portia's
confessional.
family, I feel like Portia's family all feel some sort of resentment towards Dennis because there's absolutely no reason why you should have mentioned Dennis cheating without talking about the elephant in the room, which is that she's engaged to a married man. So I see why they're able to separate the two because they all hold some type of resentment towards Dennis. But my thing is like, Mama Gina, you really gonna try to play like Porsha had all out cheated on Dennis? And in my opinion, I think that she's reaching and she's talking about the Bolo situation. Dennis has been out here doing his own thing. They've been on and off. And for you to try to prove a point and say that her mama told you that she was cheating, I'm like, Mama Gina, you in this crown and this bejeweled ass dress can go. So enabling
Girl with
mothers are
titties, with the titties sitting up. I said, Grandma, why are your titties in my face, Grandma?
I think Dennis
what are
mama
y'all's
come
thoughts
from
on Mama
place
Gina?
like Detroit mamas is different with their sons, and I
Detroit
think
mamas cuss, right?
like my mom don't cuss, so a lot of Detroit moms, like my mom, she don't cuss. So my mom don't cuss, so
Your mom could not cuss. Dennis' mama cuss. I don't care what she say.
Do, but I feel like Gina know Dennis fucked up. I think because she know he fucked up, she know he gonna catch heat every kind of way. So I think as his mom, she like, whenever I feel like everybody else is pointing finger at him, I'm going to defend my son. It don't make her right at all because Dennis fucked up. That's on Dennis. But I also feel like
Detroit mom was reckless.
Some of them is I've known things, but I feel
just
like
see fur coats in my mind. Like just see fur coats.
That's what I hear. But I think she tries to defend him because she feel like who else gonna defend him in this circle? And I feel like sometimes you do have to protect your child. But I feel like Dennis mama and Porsha mama, Porsha grandma should be out of it. They old enough to fuss their own battles. Like I feel like Gina and Porsha should not have been fussing about Gina and grandma. They let that be that. Like sometimes let the older folk have that conversation and let Porsha and Dennis handle their own shit. Because when your mama get involved and his mama get involved, that caused more attention. That's why they beefed out now. Because everybody trying to be involved in these two grown ass people's lives. Porsha is engaged to a married man, got her own baby. He got 5 kids of his own. Like, why are the parents even this involved? I'm like, I still don't get why Gina and Porsha met up. For what? We really didn't get the reason to invite her to the little thing, whatever. But I'm like, let Dennis defend himself. Gina, sit down some damn where. Porsha, let your grandma defend herself. Grandma go sit down some. Let that happen. I hate when people just like get involved in adult shit.
I don't think the grandma meant it like that though. I think Gina meant it like that. I think Gina has often not seen it for Porsha. And I honestly feel like she should have just sat there and shut up. Like, please.
Can y'all recap what the grandma said? Because I don't even think I covered that. For those
the grandma went
who haven't
over
watched the
to
episode.
Dennis. The grandma went over to Dennis and basically said, you know, it's okay. You know, my son was a playboy. That's what to me, when she called it a playboy, that to me let me know she was not trying to offend Dennis. But she was like, it's okay. You know, y'all wanted different things, you know, and my son was a playboy, and that's okay if that's what you wanted, baby. You know, maybe eventually, maybe things, you know, maybe it's not too late. And then Dennis' mama was like, it's not. And then she started to, you know, but I just want to say, you know, and she started to take up for Dennis. But it was just, and I feel like they edited something out of it because I didn't feel like Mama Gina was disrespectful or really changed her tone. But I also feel like she didn't need to like run to defend Dennis because Dennis was defending himself. Dennis was handling that moment. He was like, it's all right, mama. It's okay. Like he was handling the situation. So she did not need to step in for him. Now, Porsha, on the other hand, I feel like you damn sure should have cut that conversation out. But I feel like she was so like ready for that conversation to be awkward that it was just whatever it was going to be. Because she already knew the conversation was going to be awkward when her and Dennis' daddy showed up in matching jean jackets and shit. So... girl, when she came downstairs in the jean dress, matching his jean jacket, and she had the heels on, but she took the heels off, put the slides on. I said, bitch, go to hell.
I'm so glad you said something about that in your review because I noticed it when I was watching the episode, and I was like, huh? What?
Like, what in the
Okay, I'm not taking note of that. I noticed how fake it was, but it was so little. I was like, I ain't taking note of that.
But that's a teller.
I was like, thank you.
But that's a teller. Like those little bitty things about a person. Like you talk about you so real and all of that, but you walk from your bedroom to your kitchen in heels and then took them off and put on flats when you could have just wore the flats the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
You was a posing ass bitch, and I wish you would relax. You really do need to do whatever Lauren did and get in touch with yourself. Because y'all fucked up if you think that we think that you and Dennis Daddy are over there happy and enjoying y'all. Somebody in the comments said that Porsha and Simon are happy and living their best lives. And I said, girl, let you tell it because I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I believe Porsha's book showed me one thing about her, and that she is good at pretending like everything is okay when it absolutely is not. And that Tamron Hall interview and you not setting a wedding date tells me that everything is absolutely not okay. Thank you, though. We appreciate your view.
In terms of Mama Gina having to speak up for her son, initially, I just really felt like I didn't mind it because I felt like if they could speak up for Porsha or whatever, then she could speak up for her son. But at the same time, I felt like, but you can't do that without acknowledging the fact that he's a hoe. You know, he's done some things and it contributed to them not being together.
A hoe.
Also, I felt like Dennis actually wasn't tripping off of anything that was said. So if Dennis wasn't upset, why were you? In so many words. What else did I want to say about
her wig, child? Her wig was so dry.
In terms of the cheating, I do believe her mama did say that though. I'm sorry. I believe Porsha mama did tell Miss Mama Gina that all day long. I also feel like, I don't know if she was really talking about the Bolo situation. So this is where I got confused, right? Because it sounded like Mama Gina said something went down during March. So I'm like, is this a different time? Because keep in mind, the Bolo situation really happened like around December and stuff. So if she cheated, because I had to think about it. If it happened in November, in March, she really didn't cheat. But if it happened towards the end of last year, because the reunion didn't play out until February, March. So if that's the case, then that means that is awkward. You did cheat with Bolo because you was over here asking for your ring back because you wanted to be back, you know, in that family unit, and y'all was still messing with each other. So that's what kind of had me thinking like, so did she really cheat?
Wait a minute. I thought the wedding was in October.
Yeah, the wedding was 10/10/2020, and I'm glad you said that, Jamie, because now I'm looking up the reunion. The reunion aired at the end of April. So Bolo could have happened in March.
It could have happened in March.
Uh-huh.
The
But
mama, because she didn't really
they
say he
dragged it
cheated.
out for so long.
It was a long time, and I think
they
what she
dragged it
said
out
was,
for a good.
she said, Porsha mama said maybe Dennis was upset about whatever you was the relationship.
But
with
they
that
were on the
dude.
outs. They were on the outs. So she didn't cheat because that's what she said. It was when you and Dennis were on the outs. And I had a conversation with your mom. And she was like, it's probably because of some man. And that's what made me feel like, well, we got to remember that the situation where Porsha found out about Dennis and them girls.
Bolo happened in September.
Bolo happened in September. So when did before the wedding? So that means that situation with the girl that either happened. I mean, with Dennis cheating. Dennis cheating happened before then. Yeah. So like
that was like over the summer, I think.
Right. So that means the cheating thing happened before the Bolo situation. So that means by the time she got the Bolo, she wasn't worrying. Remember, she said she was single when Bolo happened.
She did.
She said she was single, and then
she did say that.
She said, I'm single. I could do whatever I want to do. So I think even if Dennis was mad, he didn't have a right to be mad because they weren't together. But he absolutely probably was mad.
Right.
He was back and forth in it.
Sure.
Right. But the mama probably didn't know that. So the mama probably felt like Porsha got caught in some shit based off of what Miss Diane said. But really, he was just mad because Porsha was even seen on TV fucking around with a stripper. Like, come on, he was going to be mad about that.
And that's probably why he didn't get her that ring.
Exactly.
She wanted it back.
Exactly. Because he was mad about that.
Right.
Which could be another reason why she wasn't willing to acknowledge it. But that's still interesting because it's weird because I still feel like she was messing with Dennis. I'm sorry, his dad longer than what we
killing me.
But that's why I said I need to know how that happened because I do feel like she was fucking with Dennis' daddy in November of 2020.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think she was messing with him way sooner than December. She was messing with him, and it wasn't until he forgot the ring, like Bondy said in her video, that she decided to go full throttle with Simon. I think it was back and forth with both of them, and as soon as he forgot the ring, she was like, "Okay, you played me. All right, I'm gonna go 100% into this." She didn't give a fuck what the optics looked like because her main goal was to feel comfortable and piss off Dennis, number one, and number two, feel comfortable in a relationship. And for whatever reason, for now, on paper, she feels comfortable with Simon, not knowing that he's very capable of replacing her with somebody else shiny and new as well. And I don't think she realizes that.
She doesn't, but I think it's because she's counting on her position on Housewives and her position on Bravo and her bringing this clout to him. Like he's going to feel like being with Porsha is better because that gets us more exposure. I can get a little bit of exposure, but I'm still not Porsha famous. So I can leave her and go get with somebody and that's still not going to be as fruitful as if he was doing reality shows and projects with Porsha, because Porsha is already solidified as, somebody that people give a fuck about. Whether we arguing about her or we like her, that's the difference. So and Dennis doesn't care about that because Dennis has already been the hot dog king. I think Dennis' money is real, and I think that Simon's money is fugazi. So that's why
real. Spending $500 on some damn toys.
Did you see? And then he paid for the party bus last time. Like he paid for purses. Dennis be dropping bags on Porsha, baby. And then it don't even matter that she got a new man. He's still expected to drop said bands.
His money is real. So y'all check out all our reviews on Porsha's Family Matters. But I see that it's over 700 of y'all in the chat. I know a good portion of y'all is waiting on us to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. So do us a favor and go ahead and like the video. All right, y'all. I wish y'all could have got a backstage view of Bondy bending over and throwing it back for y'all.
My lower back hurt. I needed it.
I really hope y'all got a chance to like the video because Bondy was blowing it out for us, okay? So, y'all, now it's time to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Number one, I have to say Carlos King did an amazing job hosting this reunion, okay? Number two, I have to say, if y'all haven't had a chance to check out our interviews with both Kimmy and Mel, check out those interviews on Bondy and Jay Lee's Corner channels. But y'all, I felt good because did y'all notice a lot of the questions that we had for them came up in this reunion?
Mm-hmm. Carlos, why you ain't call us?
Right.
Not to review. I mean, come over here. We want you to come over here.
Right. Come on. It ain't nothing but a thing, Carlos. Come on.
Stop playing with us.
So, 3 major conversations came up during this reunion. I have to say, I'm tired of talking about the possibility of Kimmy being a side chick or not. But being that this is a 3-part reunion, I'm glad that we're getting it out the way with part 1 because I don't want to talk about Kimmy being a side chick or not in part 2 or part 3 of the reunion. So what we see is Maurice feels that the reason why he doesn't have to defend Kimmy so hard in this situation is he says it's a physical impossibility. That's like calling me an alien. He thinks it's beyond him to even have to defend Kimmy for that. Another thing that we end up finding out is he uses words and context clues to make us believe that Kiowa did something that was unforgivable in their relationship. So what's wild to me is that this entire side chick narrative has been pushed for seasons and seasons, 3 seasons to be exact, only for us to kind of find out that Kiowa was the reason why they got a divorce in the first place, that she could have cheated on him. So what are y'all's thoughts on them keeping that under wraps? I feel like it's respectful being that Monster is his son, but I'm like, you still should have been defending your wife a little bit harder. So what do y'all think about this side chick conversation?
I feel like we knew that Kiowa was cheating. I just want to say that. I feel like I've been saying that this whole time because it was mentioned before that Kiowa cheated, and that's why he left. And then he went and got in shape on her ass and got with Kimmy. It was always her being mad, but I think I got lost through the seasons. But yeah, child, I'm tired of talking about that. Everybody know Kimmy ain't no damn side chick.
I'm glad it's out the way. I don't recall hearing about that, so I was kind of shocked to hear that she was indeed, messing around on him. I also believe that they got the whole side chick conversation from Marsto and Tisha, of course. And I do think that it was respectful of him to kind of like not put that out there because that is the mother of his child. But also, I did not like the example that he tried to use about him trying to prove that he's not an alien or something. And I was like, we could see that, but we can't see that your wife was not a side chick. So break that down. Yeah, I'm glad that Kimmy I'm glad he finally supported her in that moment and broke it down because I just felt like that was unfair. And then he also made it about him, I felt, when he said, that's like me saying that I'm an alien. I'm like, and once again, you're making it about you, and that's your problem. You can't ever really see where your wife is coming from when she's frustrated about stuff because you immediately go to you and how you feel instead of looking at things based on how she feels and experiences it. So, I thought it was good. Carlos did a great job. I love how he revisited things. If the questions got away from him and he loved it. Did great.
Just quickly wanted to mention that it was said in the comments that Kiowa did marry one of the Scott sisters' ex-husbands.
Yes, I did hear that.
They were saying that, so I just wanted to clear. Yes, that is true.
So I think the part that they got it for me was him saying, of all the women I was with, why is Kimmy side chick? I was with other women a year before I even met Kimmy. So for me, for Kiowa to go after Kimmy means you knew she was a side chick. You upset because that's who he stayed with, that's who he married. And, because I think we've never heard them go into full detail about it was a year time from when he left Kiowa, was in Alabama, fucking whoever, and then met Kimmy. And Kimmy even brought up how they signed divorce papers, and it was a 6 months from when it was signed to when it was official that she felt like Kimmy got in the way of them getting back together. But that does not make her a side chick, because again, your husband left you and he fucked other girls all before y'all even signed a paper. So I felt like, I don't know why they waited so long for the conversation. It could be because of the pandemic, so we didn't get a season 2 reunion. I don't know, but I like how we were able to get each piece from Kimmy, from Maurice, even Tisha saying Kaiwa did say to me that she was a sad piece, but I didn't believe it. You know, Tisha full of shit. But again, you know, I'm just happy now, like it never has to come up again.
Okay,
True.
so let me ask y'all this. The other thing that comes up of this side chick conversation is where it came from, like y'all had mentioned. Marceau tries to play Martell and says, well, you know, Martell didn't hear it from me if Martell said it. Basically saying Martell is a liar. You can't believe him. In this situation, I feel like this is one of those moments where I believe Martell. I felt like Martell is so he's so narcissistic that the things that he says sound so wild, but I felt like he really took his time with his thoughts and his responses throughout this reunion. Reason being is because Carlos was the host and he was going to hold him for the fire. And for 2, I think he was more conscious of how he was going to come across. Like he repeatedly was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So I hate, even though Martell ain't shit, I hate that Marceau tried to use Martell's lack of credibility against him, because I absolutely believe that Marceau told him that. What are y'all's thoughts on who told who?
I wonder if he thought Martell was saying that he started the rumor. I think Kaiwa told Tisha. Tisha mentioned it to Marceau. Marceau then mentioned it to Martell. So what I thought he meant was Martell trying to act like I started a rumor that I did not. I heard it from my wife, who heard it from Kaiwa. But I still do feel like Martell lied too much. I don't believe Martell or Marceau. I believe Tisha came from Kaiwa.
I believe what Martell says, because I think Marceau knew exactly what he was saying, what Martell was saying. I feel like he indeed started that rumor, because I feel like Marceau repeated it in confidence based on what he heard, and I feel like he started that within the group. So yeah, and I did not like how he tried to play on how people see Martell as a liar all of the time. I'm like, okay, yeah, Martell's a liar. We understand that. But everything he's saying is not a lie. And I hate to, you know, mention that, but I'm going to say it right now. Just like when he tried to call Mel out for messing with somebody. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't lying the whole time about it. Mel finally came out and admitted it. So it's like, he be lying. I feel y'all. But sometimes he don't be lying about everything. And I truly believe him on the Marceau thing.
It's not that he's lying, it's that he's using things out of context to prove a point that's not being proven with the information. So this whole Marceau situation, he's saying it jokingly as an excuse for why you turned around and brought that up to Mel as a way to you know, divvy out the blame. I'm not the only one that has a side chick. Oh, look, Kimmy has a side chick. Kimmy was a side chick. That was a way to divvy up the responsibility and take it off of himself. It was the same thing he did to Marceau. Marceau ends up being stupid in this situation because Marceau can never just explain things right out. Him and his brother and all of their lying, they know that they can never explain things right out. It always has to be talking around it. And Martell isn't composed enough for that. So he's going to eventually just blurt the shit out. And they're going to count on everybody seeing how manic Martell comes off as him being a liar. But the truth of the matter is, I think we all know that when Martell said that Marceau had 20 girlfriends, there was some truth to that. Okay? But later on, when Martell tries to dress that situation up with Mel, the cheating situation, it's not cheating, nigga. You had already cheated and you're trying to use that to divvy up blame. You got found out and Marceau asked your wife to a restaurant or whatever to have a drink to talk so that everybody could calm down. Even if he was trying to use that as an opportunity to fuck Mel, like, why would you still be his friend and be trying to be in business with him now if you felt like he was really trying to do that? You don't feel like he was really trying to fuck Mel. You just want to use that so that you can divvy up this blame like you like to do. That's why I don't give a fuck about nothing Martell be saying.
Yeah, what I thought was interesting was that when they all explained this story, another thing they ended up talking about is how Marceau invited Mel to Chick-fil-A, and it was in the heat of the moment whenever she first found out about Ariane and all that other stuff. He was, in his opinion, he was being a facilitator between Mel and Martell. Martell accuses Marceau of being inappropriate with his wife by inviting her to go get drinks. In my opinion, everybody told the same damn story. The intent was different from every single angle. Martell had a different intent of telling his version of the story. In my opinion, I don't think they would have messed around at all. I do think that Marceau has some sort of admiration towards Mel. So that's the reason why I think that he was overstepping boundary, even though the bullshit was coming from Marceau. What I thought was interesting between it all, since everybody told the same story with different intent, was that Marceau didn't tell Tisha that he invited her for drinks. And it seemed as though Tisha almost didn't even know about Chick-fil-A. Tisha was sitting there and said, who? What? She's sitting there saying, who? He was trying to find out, like, what tell it all? Who?
Yeah.
With her 27 bottles of Pump It Up.
Girl, the way the hump
I think Mel
moving.
said it perfect, though. I think Mel said it perfect when she mentioned that Martell was feeling guilty about what he had going on, which is why he came to whatever conclusion. So I feel like it wasn't like him telling the story of intent. I feel like that's genuinely what he was thinking based on his own BS that he had going on.
See, I felt like everybody had the same story except Martell. I think Martell was the only one trying to make it seem like it was a salacious come have drinks. And for me, when Marceau was the one they called in Vegas to bear hug and take Marcel out that room, I feel like that shows the fact that Marceau probably is the one who they've always called when Mel and Martell fight, because he can physically remove Martell from the situation.
Exactly. That was exactly where my mind went.
So when he said, yes, Vanessa called me, because at that point in time, she worked at school, we was all friends. So of course, they're Mel and Martell fussing, let me call Marceau, because Marceau can get Martell. But because Mel left, he called Martell. Martell didn't answer, he called Mel.
Right.
So I feel like when
to make sure that it wasn't volatile.
Right. When Marceau and Mel told the story to me, their things matched up. I did call Mel. Mel was pissed off because she's so pissed off. Hey, those some drinks. That's what you say to your friend who's mad. Yes. Calm down. So I felt like nobody's story was different except Martell's, because he wants people to feel like Mel has always tried to be sneaky and fuck somebody else, and so I'm not the villain. It's like, no, nigga, she was pissed, and your friend had to go because you let her go to Chick-fil-A. So
because your old lady, because your girlfriend called your phone and told your wife to put you on the phone. Like, yo, we heard the way they were screaming and hollering in Vegas. You know that fight was probably had Miss Vanessa worried that it was going to
come help. She called Marceau because he could physically. And when Marceau said, I would hope if I'm fussing my wife as a friend, you call your friend when they come to, calm shit down. That happens in regular. Like I've had to do that for folks. I've had to get out of my bed at 2 a.m. drive all plenty to just separate shit and grab friend, let's leave. For he mad for let's go. So I feel like even Tisha looking back at Marceau, I'm like, why would you feel like you know how they fuss? Because you knew at that point in time what happened. Because she said, oh yeah, the night old girl called, so you knew what it was. So I also feel like Tisha will always feel like if anyone says Marceau did something, she always reacts thinking, "Is you cheating?" Because her mama got her thinking.
So that's why he didn't say anything, because he knew she was gonna overreact and make something out of nothing, like she often does. But I still feel like something is going on, though, Marceau.
Something is, and that's also why he didn't tell her about the chocolate bottle that he delivered, and she tried to turn the thing into something that it wasn't. So Marceau keeps a piece of himself closed off from Tisha, not only because she's insecure, but because it's to his benefit. But speaking of, Jaylee, you said something about Mel being secretive, about Martell trying to make it seem like Mel has always been secretive. We get into the portion of the reunion where Martell is talking about whether or not Mel cheated, right? He says, did you give head to another man? And she says, oh, well, I don't remember. I told you that I received head. She claims that she forgot. Then Martell says, well, I have a recording of you saying that you did. And then suddenly she says, oh, well, I don't remember. So in y'all's opinion, my thing when I posted my video, the first question was, did Mel cheat? The more important question was, does it matter? In my opinion, it didn't matter at all. I actually heard some of the audio, and in the audio, y'all tell me if I like missed a snippet, but in the audio, he said, when was the last time you gave head? And she said 3.5 years ago, but she doesn't necessarily say that she gave head to another man while they were married. She didn't say that.
That audio was so cut up. I feel like he edited that shit. You can tell it's a part when they're talking and they're fussing, and there's a slight pause. He say, because she was saying how from the time we met, from the first time we had sex, I have never had sex with anyone else. That's part of the conversation. It then pauses for a split second. He then say the dick sucking part, and you hear another pause, and then she say that was over 3. So you don't even really know. I can't trust audio like that that's cut up, because I can't say it was one conversation. So I do feel like if Martell, after my review, Martell couldn't handle seeing Mel on a date with somebody when they were divorced. So you mean to tell me that your wife told you she sucked the man's dick. You then stayed with her for years, however long later, had another baby, and you've never gotten upset, and you're talking to her in this calm, cool voice, but you was pissed at seeing her at a fucking restaurant with someone when y'all were divorced. Martell full of shit. Mel did say, yes, I moved out. I met another dude. We dated for like 4 weeks. We did do whatever. But I feel like if I left you for cheating on me, what I do at your business? Because you cheated on me. I left you. And I do feel like I don't want her to have to admit she sucked dick. This nigga want to admit his fucking son's birthday. Mel don't have to ever admit. She don't ever have to say, yes, she don't. She's earned the right to keep that private.
Honestly, all I could think about when I was like watching her not explain, I was like, honestly, like your son is gonna watch this one day. Like this shit is gonna be floating around for your son, for your kids to watch, and nobody wants to hear mommy admitting to sucking dick. Like it doesn't even matter. Nobody wants to hear mommy admit to that shit on television. And I believe that she had that in mind when she said, I don't remember, but it happened to me. I don't remember. It's because nobody wants to be on camera. Just like Don said on Black Ink Crew last night, nobody wants to be caught on camera saying they suck somebody's dick. And that's just what it is, because it's embarrassing. Like, it's not that it's embarrassing that you did it. We all grown. Okay. We all suck dick, but it's embarrassing for your son.
I'm playing.
Girl, I was about to say, then what do you do? Because you do something, bitch. Listen. But yeah, okay. I'm looking at Martell, like, Martell, honey, I know you think you brought us something. This is how y'all felt about Wendy during the Potomac review. Like her receipts didn't mean anything. This is how I feel about Martell's receipts. These receipts don't mean anything to me, honey. You have a baby with the bitch.
Squeeze.
Okay. And Dolphin Teeth is always so excited that somebody references her. She was so that's how her teeth look. She got all them little bitty small sharp teeth all together. I'm surprised that you didn't hurt the nigga dick all that sucking you was doing. Like, oh, she must have like real strong jaw muscles in order for her to be going to town without letting them razor sharp little dolphin teeth graze his meat. But anyway, I just feel like I don't know why she's always like, she always has to make herself like this adversary to Mel. And Mel is just like, I don't even know this person. I don't even understand. And the girl is like, you know, Mel just started like, I'd be like, girl, you obsessed with that lady. Like, you and Martella over there talking shit about Mel, and he still don't have no license. Go ahead, y'all. I'm done.
You said something about Ariane that made me think about how when she talks about Mel, she talk about Mel like she know more about Mel's life than Mel knows about her own. That sucks for you, because that shows what you guys spend a lot of time talking about. And if he's talking about his ex more than he's talking about you guys, then that's where his heart still is. I do feel like when the question came up, Necey asked, did Mel cheat? Yes, Mel cheated. Mel was a married woman that went out and cheated. Do I care? I don't give a damn. This nigga cheated on this lady for 5 years, and I hate to say it, I kind of wish he would have got it in a little bit more, considering the fact that he did her the way that he did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't care about the vows that he made, so why should she? I do feel like if you really sucked it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I ain't seen that wrong. If she did say, yeah, I did. Now what? How's your child? Okay, yeah, I did. Now what? Didn't you eat her cat? Like, I just wish she would have kind of like
I was
sucked
like
it
this.
to him more. But this is the other thing that came across my mind as I thought about it when he said he had a recording. I heard the recording. I didn't necessarily think that it was chopped and screwed, but I did think Mel could have said this to piss him off, considering the fact that this is something he often complains about. He always complained about, oh, you don't give me hair, you don't do this or that. So I feel like, I mean, what a way to get back at him by telling him you did something that you probably didn't even do. And he just happened to be recording it and using it against her. So those are my thoughts about it.
And I think that's why she said, I don't remember. But I don't really care. The final question, y'all, is this cliffhanger. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this final question. The final question, Carlos asked him, if you would have met Ariane, Coleslaw, whatever y'all want to call her, breakfast, lunch, dinner, IHOP, Waffle House, whatever Carlos said she was, if you would have met her before you met Mel, would you have married her? I want to start off by saying, ultimately, no, he wouldn't have, because he's divorced and he can marry her now and he's not parading her around. But Martell is petty as fuck and he looks like he might just want to say yes to piss off Mel. So what do y'all think he's going to say to answer this question?
He's not going to say yes. Mel, he will always say something first to make Mel feel like I'm the old Martell. He'll then follow it up with some bullshit. He always start off with like, I wish I didn't do the show because I would have my kids, but he don't regret fucking that lady. So it's weird that he's like pausing to say yes or no. I feel like not only has he not married Coleslaw, he doesn't acknowledge her. He doesn't speak about her. He does not talk about her in any way. Like, she really doesn't exist. If she didn't have that baby, she would be such a non-factor. So it's weird that I get Carlos saying because you kept going back all that time, she means something. Cool. She was a good fuck. But my thing is, he has not put her in any position to make her feel like anything more than the person he fucked behind closed doors. Because once Mel divorced him, he still won't talk about her. He don't say her name. He wants everyone else to act like the baby don't exist. She don't exist. All that matters is if I had not done this show, I would still have my wife. So my thing is this: he can't say anything to me that would make me believe he wants to really be with old girl, because he don't act like it.
I hate to be a know-it-all, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I know it aggravates you motherfuckers. So when the show first started, I remember clocking that he was jealous of Mel. Like, he was jealous that Mel was like the star of the show. It almost felt like he was in some type of competition with her, even when they were in their relationship, even when they were trying to be together before they had really broke up, before Milani, all of that. The very first season, I clocked it. I said, he's jealous of her. The side chick makes him feel like a man. She makes him feel like, he's so great. She's a pick-me.
Superior.
She's sipping from his cup. But the thing about it is, she only views him that way because of how Mel has helped present him to the world. And he is so used to everybody catering to that version of him that them seeing him outside of this is like nervous breakdown level. That's why he's always acting manic, because everybody's seeing him outside of the man that Mel has presented him. And that's why it kills me when he's always talking about what he sacrificed for Mel, when we all know that obviously Mel was doing all the hard work. Nigga, you still ain't got no builder's license. What are we talking about?
Right.
So I feel like old girl can run her mouth as much as she wants to, but at the end of the day, honey, you did not win. And the fact that you're still here, even though you don't go here, like you don't go here, you're not on the show. If Martell wanted to reference you on the show, if he wanted to bring your baby on the show, he could do that. The only thing they can't do is have you visually on the show, but you've already been on the phone. Martell could have 100 scenes in the car on his way home with you on the phone if he wanted to, and he has yet to do that. You know why? Because he low-key wants to stay slightly in Mel's good graces for the possibility that eventually she will change her mind. He don't want you, bitch. You are a convenience, and you make him feel like he's the shit when Melody makes him feel small. Just because she's who she is, not because she actually had to try to make him feel small. So yeah, bitch. Suck it up.
I like something Jay Lee said, because it's the exact thought that came to my head about Martell not acknowledging her. Like, he's not going to do it. So I kind of want to believe that he's going to say no. But the pondering that he was doing was given, I should say that, you know, to kind of piss Mel off a little bit. Like, that's what he want to say. But overall, yeah, like, he don't even want to like fully acknowledge her. He wants to keep her in the dark hole that he already has her in. So I think the answer is going to be no. I will be shocked if he does say yeah, but I mean, he don't want to have nothing to do with it. So there's that answer, no. I think he's gonna say no.
Y'all have any other thoughts?
Oh, hold up. Somebody said, Kathy Colbert said also Mel intimidated that Martell didn't satisfy. I think they meant another word, but satisfy her fully in bed. He wasn't adventurous. Martell, the type that wants you to please him and assures and assumes he pleases you. Assumes he pleases you.
Another thing I wanted to highlight about why I think he would not have married Ariane is because, I mean, he says they from the same spot, same walking apart, so whatever. I think he saw something in Mel what he already kind of sees now in college. I think he had already saw that she was going places. And I think when he saw that, he wanted to go ahead and lock her down based on probably how she presented herself on the yard and the vision he may have had for his life. Like, let me grab her. And I can't say that Miss Girl, the side girl, I can't say she would have presented herself enough for him to want to snatch her up on that level. Yeah,
I don't think so. I think I'm so glad you said that, because it definitely makes me think about him impregnating her all those times. Like, yeah, you know, you want to have kids with your husband, but I almost feel like you were intentionally trying to make sure that you could like lock her down to you as much as possible.
She won't leave him. He said he never thought she would leave him, because who leaves the husband with 3 kids plus 4? So that's what he thought she would never leave.
I don't think he was trying to lock her down with the sex, because with all those kids, because he already had her with the first one. I think they just had some good ass. I just think they had some killer sex.
I'm not disputing that.
And they kept the kids over and over.
Oh, no. I'm not disputing that they weren't like enjoying their sex life, but I do feel like men often use women's reproductive like organs as a way to control them.
I mean, that's true.
Especially the narcissists. They love to have sex with the intent to reproduce, because it makes them feel more big. Virile. Like, these are my mini-me's running around. You were carrying,
and I done shot your club up.
Yes, I done shot the club up, and I think that's how he was.
That made him feel good about himself, especially because they all look exactly like him and her. And it added to the family man Martell, and that's the opposite of his daddy. Like, it added to the image that he wanted. But I absolutely feel like the more kids you give a woman, the less likely she is to leave you. A woman will leave you with 1 kid. She will absolutely pack up her 1 little baby and be just fine, like Beyonce said. But you give her 4 of them motherfuckers, and it all of a sudden becomes, as soon as you get to 3, it all of a sudden becomes like, I don't know, child. Don't nobody want to take care of no 3, 4 kids.
I think Mel and Martell were good at first. I think the more Mel got out of being mom Mel and started doing that, I want to be business Mel. I think that's when his intent of being narcissistic and this. I think he slowly changed when he seen Mel kind of come to her own. She was known as his wife, the kid's mom. She wanted more. They had business or whatever. I think over time, after that second kid, I think it just grew into some bullshit, and Mel couldn't see it because they were so happy before. And I think Mel was fully blindsided because she like, well, we was happy yesterday, and then today he just out here fucking bitches.
I feel like a lot of his jealousy, if he was jealous, you know, at that time, I feel like a lot of it came from this show. I can't say it was like that prior to. I just think that the attention she gained from the show over the attention he gained from the show, I think that's when he started to feel jealous.
But that's the bad part.
They did a
he
lot
cheated
of
before
stuff
the
like
show.
hand in hand.
He
was always feeling that way. He was always feeling that way because when you think about when he talked about the fact that she just went and passed the test, and you know she was smarter than him, and I think that she had the it factor that he wanted, and he always knew that. But let me say something right quick before I forget. Somebody mentioned that Mel was pregnant at the same time that Ariane was pregnant, and I think she either had an abortion or she didn't. Or she didn't have the baby or had a miscarriage or something like that happened where she did not have that baby. And Ariane was pregnant at the same time, I believe. So that's why he doesn't want to say how old the baby truly is, because then would Mel would be able to place it with that pregnancy that she had before. Yeah. So somebody was saying, and that reminded me in the comments of that.
What did you say, JB? Before I didn't catch what you said before Bondy.
Girl,
I was just saying that I didn't think Martell started to feel jealous until after they started doing the show.
Oh, I was saying because he was cheating before the show, because Mel said that he found out in 2017 and that she had to tell Carlos after they shot the pilot about the cheating and how she didn't want to do the show. So I feel like his whatever towards Mel started before the show. It got worse once they were on the show. I think on the show, once they were on the show, I do think he hated how much people respected Mel more than him. But I think it became that way because we found out what you have been doing. Despite the fact that your wife out here being a good wife and you seem like a good husband, but you was also a sneaky motherfucker. So I do think once the show started and people was on Mel's team, whatever issues they had, it just got worse for him because he just got worse. He got worse and worse and worse.
Well, yeah, that's funny because I'm thinking about Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. That's one thing that Kyle said on the show. She said, when you come on the show doesn't mess up your marriage. She said your marriage was already going through some stuff before you came on the show.
Absolutely. Especially it absolutely exposes it, especially when you think about that timeline. Mel found out about the cheating March 2017. The cheating had already been happening for 3 years at that point.
So she found out.
Yeah, so she, that's when she left, then came back, then gave him another chance. That's when they got on the show, when she came back and gave him another chance. And I think once they started filming the show, she found out it was still going on. Because remember the dinner that they had, and she was like, what happens when you find out they're still doing it? Like, I feel like she found out it was still going on right when they started taping the show, because the dinner they had, she put that shit on blast and nobody knew before then. And that's why he always blames Mel for the shit coming out, because Mel put it on blast at that table. But no, nigga, like this was the second chance. and
that was a shot heard around the world.
And then when you think about getting back with him after that, she got back with him after that. And so that was the second time she took him back. And then the girl, she finds out he's trying to cheat better and all of that shit. And then the girl get pregnant. Ooh.
Well, y'all, that was all we had for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. Y'all be sure to check out all of our individual reviews for the shows. And guess what, y'all? Y'all get us again on Thursday. Y'all get us again on Thursday on Bondy Channel. We might do a special show for y'all, so be sure to follow us on Instagram at OohLadiesFirstPanel. Email us with some advice. It could be a cute little show to talk about some stuff. Y'all, I know 2020 and 2021 has been quite the year, so I know y'all got some stories to tell. So go ahead and email us for advice. Follow Bondy at Bondy Blue, Jami at Jami ThatsMe, Jay Lee at Jay Lee's Corner, and follow me at Necey Dixon everywhere. Be sure to turn on your notification bell. And with that being said, I hope y'all have a good night.